Hey guys, Dr. Kahu here and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be doing a new type of movie, and that is, what if Deku was indestructible, the movie, and how would this affect the My Hero Academia universe as a whole. Now as usual guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you guys want me to continue making these movies guys, and because you guys have been showing me so much love, I'm just going to ask for 100 likes guys, 100 likes, and I'll bring another movie out after I do my next Naruto Dragon Ball Z one. Okay guys, the next one's going to be a Dragon Ball Z one, just stay tuned, okay? And so yeah, and other than that guys, I appreciate all you guys' help when it comes to these videos, like just giving me feedback. It's great, you guys are so awesome, and I hope you guys like these videos that I'm making, okay guys? So yeah, but I talked enough guys, let's get into this new movie, and that is, what if Deku was indestructible, the movie. So of course guys, let our story begin. Now our story is going to take place at a very young age, actually the beginning of Izuku's life. The moment Izuku gets his umbilical cut from his mother, this is when his quirk fully activates, and it's a mutation quirk, okay? Much like how Mina's mutation makes her have a pink skin with horns and she's held like that. Pretty much like that. Izuku's power is a mutation. Even though he looks normally like a normal human, it is all in purpose a mutation, and Izuku has multiple factors within this quirk, but standardized his quirk is indestructible, or indestructible skin, or indestructible body, or just invincible, okay? Either other way, he's not going to have the ability to fly or everything like that, but his skin is just indestructible, his bones are unbreakable, his muscles, well, that's the thing that is subject to change. But from here is, the doctor states that is something different about their son, and you can go, what's the matter? Well, they can't. Well, when you have children, guys, and this is Dr. Kahu explaining to you in real life, when the doctors test your children's blood or test your children, they kind of prick your child's heel to see if your child's blood level or sugar levels at a certain perspective. I know it sounds weird me explaining this to you, but I have 4 kids, guys, so I know exactly. I've been through the rigmarole upon children and childbirth, and with my partner, of course. Sorry, I didn't do nothing. I just observed and just helped birth the baby. Okay, but anyway, I'm losing the actual subject of the topic. So when a child was born, and after the doctor cleans the child, they normally prick the child's heel and take blood samples to see if this child's feeding right, taking food right, and blood levels and all that stuff. Now that you guys know that, now you'll understand what I mean when it comes to Izuku, where the doctors find out Izuku's indestructible. Because when they go to prick Izuku's heel to test his blood, it doesn't work. Okay, they look at it, they're like, but we're able to cut the umbilical cord. How can they break through? And so they try multiple times. But Izuku develops normally as a kid. They find out that one, they can't actually test his blood because his skin is technically unbreakable. And so they have to do like saliva and swab tests and all this stuff just to go through all the unique type of situations to find it out. But they realize that Izuku is a healthy child. His metabolism is perfect for a child. His body is physically strong, like naturally really strong. But one inescapable fact is Izuku's skin and body is indestructible. They are amazed upon this. And so what goes down is Izuku as a young kid is called the indestructible kid. That's what he's called. And so as Izuku grows up in his life, he doesn't really take it upon himself to take on this unnecessary risk, because he's still Izuku Midoriya, okay? Regardless of his indestructible skin, his nice nature and how he is Izuku. And I'm not going to change it just because he's unbreakable. No. And so as Izuku grows up and he's at school with Katsuki Bakugo, everyone's getting excited to get their quirk, but Izuku Midoriya already knows that he has a quirk, and he knows that he's a mutant, but he looks normal, which makes him, well, Enko kind of happy that Izuku looks normal despite being a mutant, or mutated quirk, okay? And so as Bakugo gets his quirk, he goes, hey Izuku, when do you get your quirk? And Izuku goes, oh, Kachan, I've always had my quirk. And he goes, what? And he goes, yeah, my quirk makes it that my skin is indestructible. And Bakugo goes, what's indestructible? And as Izuku says this, the teacher overhears this, kind of laughs and goes, what Izuku means is his skin's unbreakable, indestructible. That's what it means, Izuku. And Izuku's like, oh, thank you. And he goes, yeah, so meaning Izuku can't get hurt like me and you. Bakugo goes, what? That's a cool quirk. Are you super strong? Are you fast? What else? Izuku goes, well, I don't know. I just know that my skin, I can't get hurt by any physical pain. I fell out of the 3-story building once and I cracked the entire ground. But Izuku just rubs his head. But I don't know. Everyone's just shocked, you know. Whoa, Izuku, you got a cool quirk. Wow. And Bakugo and Izuku, they grow up and having a really close relationship all the way to they actually get to a certain point. Age 10. I'm just going to give you a 6-year time gap, okay? By age 10, Izuku and Bakugo have become so close as best friends. Like, they are rivals and best friends. They mock each other, but Izuku is still going to have his way. Like, that's what I like about Izuku, is regardless of him being a soft boy that whines and cries all the time, he has a really good heart, okay? And that's really rare to come by in real life society. And this is why I like making Izuku the way I do. Eventually I'm going to be making villain Izuku in the future, but you guys will see that soon. But anyway, what goes down is Izuku and Bakugo train for 6 years with their Quirk. Bakugo, he's really powerful because, well, he's training with someone that can just stand there and tank the entire attack of his blast and not take any damage. His clothes burn, but other than that, Izuku is unbreakable. What they find out though is Izuku's naturally as strong as a normal person, you know? He's strong as a normal kid be at his age. He's as fast as a normal kid will be at his age. But one thing Izuku finds out that he doesn't really get tired. And, well, his unbreakable skin is that unbreakable. Like, Izuku is so much more than what he actually knows he is. And so at the age of 10, both Bakugo and Izuku are kind of bored with how they do their Quirk training, because it's just as Bakugo's throwing explosions at Izuku and Izuku just running at them trying to throw wild punches. Both Bakugo and Izuku ask their parents if they can do some form of training, you know, do something with their physical attributes besides just using their quirks. And Inko is quite happy upon this, and she agrees, and so does Mitsuki. And so they meet up and they take Izuku and them, and they ask, where do you guys want to go? Izuku asks for 3 things that he pretty much wouldn't mind doing, because it's just baseline and smart. He wouldn't mind doing some martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, and stuff. And Bakugo does the same, you know. He takes on boxing because it's uniquely useful. Well, his explosion comes from his hands. Boxing is all about striking, well, perfect striking, defending, you know, honestly. And there's no 2 wrongs with the Bakugo learning how to strike properly with his hands, you know, and explosions. And only that, take on kickboxing, jujutsu, all that stuff. So young Bakugo and Izuku are really in depth and really want to learn how to fight and get stronger. They're actually obsessed with it due to the fact that Izuku is so different and allows Bakugo to get stronger and stronger. And so as these two grow up together, our actual story, well, the timeline actually going to catch up with itself, and our story starts in the beginning phase of the series, where young Izuku Midoria is walking to school and he sees Mountain Lady steal Kamui Wood's dub, you know. What goes down is Izuku still writes things down. He's analytical, still nerdy. However, he has a confidence that can't be shunned, or he's not egotistical, but he has the right amount of confidence to not let anyone walk over him or talk over him. At the same time, he's still respectful as Izuku Midoriya. And so as Izuku's walking to school, he gets there late, and they ask where he was, and Bakugo goes, let me guess, nerd, you're watching a hero-villain fight, right? And he goes, yeah, how did you know, Kachan? And he goes, I heard about the trains being blocked off, so naturally, if you weren't here, you're there watching. And Izuku's like, yeah, I was, sorry about that. He goes, why? You would have been fine, what are they going to do, break their hands on your face? And Izuku goes, well, yeah, well, if Mountain Lady stomped them, yeah, I probably think she probably hurt her foot. But if Izuku and Bakugo look at each other and they laugh, because it's quite true. Like, Izuku, it's not that he's an unmovable force. You're not going to break him. If he puts his arms up and stands his ground, you want to stomp him into the ground, but you're going to hurt yourself at the same time, you know? And so Izuku and Bakugo laughs at this. When the teacher comes in, they're all happy, everyone's happy. Izuku did not grow up with the life that he did. Everyone's actually not afraid of Izuku because he's still the same way he does, and he defends any kid from bullies. And in this series, Bakugo is still the explosion type due to his quirk, of course. However, he's not a bully. He's outright just against it, just like Izuku. Izuku had a really good booster on him that Bakugo actually hasn't been a bully like in canon. In fact, he has dramatically changed. And so when the teacher talks about Izuku and them, all the students becoming hero course students, Bakugo stands up, but unlike egotistical Bakugo, where he goes, hey, teach, don't lump me in with any of these extras. Bakugo goes, well, good on you guys, you know, but he says in his own Bakugo way. I'm just going to plainly say it because I'm not the Kahu and I can't be bothered trying to do Bakugo at this present time. But Bakugo exclaims that, yeah, don't worry, me and Deku are going to make it an easy as, not you worrying. But Izuku's like, come on, Kachan, just settle down. And he's like, what? I'm just explaining the truth. Me and you are technically the only ones that are capable of making it to UA. Ask anyone here. Like, what are they going to do against me? What are they going to do against you, Izuku? Izuku's like, yeah, true. But there's a way to come about it, Kachan. He goes, huh? Teacher put it out there. I just answered the question. no skin off my teeth. Izuku's like, great, he kind of laughs at that. And what goes down is they're all talking, they're all having fun, you know, discussing what they're going to be doing when they're older. And then everyone crowds around them like, wow, you guys are great, you guys are going to be mean heroes. And Izuku's like, yeah, well, don't forget you guys also exist, you know, even if you guys do eventually become psychic, even if I became a psychic, I'll do my best to help people with a smile. Everyone loves this motivation from Izuku, you know. And so what happens is, as Izuku and Bakugo walking, Bakugo goes, yo, Deku, and he goes, yeah? And he goes, so me and Tsubasa are going to go to the mall. When I come, he goes, oh yeah, we'll just need to go pick up something from home. I'll meet you guys there. And he goes, don't be too late, nerd. Or don't get too distracted. If you do, just text us so we don't need to wait for you, idiot. Izuku's like, yeah, we'll catch you. Don't worry. He goes, oh, hey, nerd, you forgot your book. Izuku's like, sorry about that. He grabs this book and he goes, I see you making notes about me, eh? And Izuku's like, oh yeah, of course. Well, I can tell you your strengths and weaknesses, of course. But other than that, you're probably a perfect hero. To be honest, a bit destructive, but hey, it's all about how you direct your text, right? And Bakugo goes, yeah, you're right, Deku, you're right. And Izuku goes, yeah, well, I gotta go, see you soon, okay? And Bakugo goes, yeah, whatever, later, Deku. And was like, later, Deku. Now, why I say they call him Deku is because this is a nickname that Bakugo gives Izuku, regardless of in the canon that it's a useless name. It's just a nickname that I'm still gonna keep and repeat due to the idea of Izuku still calls Bakugo Kacha. And so, as Izuku is running just like in canon, well, as he's running and walking like in canon, he gets to the bridge or the underpass, and when he gets by there, he sees a kid. Now, why I say he sees a kid is because it's not Izuku that's being choked this time, it's a random kid. And the sludge monster just ran at this kid. Izuku didn't even hesitate, he dropped his bag, ran at max speed, and as the sludge monster just turned around, Izuku jumps at the sludge monster with all his force, grabbing the boy and managed to kind of break through the other side. And Izuku rolls over and throws the boy out of the way. He goes, you're right. And he's like, yeah, he's trying to break it, and as he tries to point at the guy, the sludge monster behind him, the sludge monster's like, hey kid, what the hell is this? You almost ruined my escape. But thankfully for you, you're right here. Give me your body now, kid. And Izuku's like, what? The sludge monster tries to get into Izuku's body and tries to force himself down his mouth. And he's like, what the hell? What gives? Why can't I break into your body? What's going on? And Izuku kind of spits out the sludge and goes, it's kind of hard to break into someone's body if their quirk is indestructibility. And the sludge monster's like, what? You're... And All Might goes, don't worry, kids. Well, I am here. Texas Smash! And so he smashes the air, and Izuku's still standing there but covering his face from the massive pressure that All Might just threw at him. And the sludge monster ends up everywhere, almost like, whoa, well, that was interesting. Hey, kid. Are you alright? And Izuku goes, yeah, I'm alright. All Might, nice to meet you finally. You're my #1 hero. I honestly am having goosebumps right now. All Might smiles as well. Thank you, kid. And to be honest, I'm quite impressed at how you dealt with yourself. What's your quirk, by the way, young man? And Izuku goes, oh, well, my quirk practically gives me an indestructible body. And All Might's like, what? Tell me that again, young man? He goes, well, yeah, like... And Izuku punches the wall and he cracks it only due to reaction, you know, because force, well, if you guys understand physics, Izuku's exerting force into the wall, naturally it will exert back into Izuku's arm because it's a hard wall. Now, but Izuku has indestructible skin, you see, so when he punches the wall, the force is not going to come back to Izuku, instead it's going to stay where Izuku laid the punch, so he puts a tiny crack in the wall. And Izuku moves his hand and it's like, well, see, All Might, as you can tell, I don't take no physical damage, nor I take any form of kinetic damage from that, you know? All Might goes, I see, that's a really unique gift, kid. Oh, how are you down there, young man? And he goes, oh my, and he gets up, coughs out, and he's really scared, the boy. He just bows at All Might, and Izuku runs away, and Izuku's like, oh, I could have got his name just to ask if he was alright, but oh well. But what you doing here, All Might? Aren't you meant to be in Tokyo? And he goes, oh yes, well, you see, young man. All Might looks around and goes, oh, actually, I don't have much time to talk like this, but if you could possibly help me, young man, pull the sludge monster into a bottle, that'd be great. Izuku says, oh, of course, All Might, not to worry. Izuku helps All Might put the entire sludge monster into a bottle. And Izuku goes, hey, All Might, before you go, can I just ask you a favor? And he goes, yeah, sure, kid, what is it? Could I get your autograph? Well, of course, young man. I am the symbol of peace, after all. I have to make sure I keep my appearance from all my adoring fans. And not only that, young man, but I can just tell by the uniqueness of your quirk and how bashful you are, I can see you could possibly become a great hero. Hell, with a quirk like yours, you can become a really great hero. If you mind telling me, young man, what kind of what's hero course are you going for? And Izuku goes, well, me and my best friend Katsuki Bakugo or Kachan are both going to be applying to UA. And he goes, UA, my alumni. Ha ha ha. Well then, young man, I can tell you're really something special. And to be honest, All Might looks at himself and goes, Tell you what, kid, you give me your contact details. I'd like to get a hold of you in the next couple of days if you don't mind. I have a proposition I would like to ask you if you don't mind. Izuku's like, All Might wants my number? Like, hell yeah. Izuku grabs his phone, like, here, All Might, here's my number. His hand's shaking hard out. And All Might seeing the nervousness, he's like, so this kid's a fanboy. Alright. And so what happens is Izuku gets the number and Izuku's just like shaking, holding the phone. He's like, oh my gosh, Kachan, you would have been happy if you were here. All Might smiles and goes, well, young man, I gotta be heading off now. But stay tuned for my text, okay? And Izuku's like, yeah, All Might, I'll see you later. And he goes, haha, see you, kid. Jumps away with the sludge monster and he disappears. Izuku's like, yeah, All Might. Crap, I meant to meet up with Bakugo, Kachan. And so instead of going back home and goes, stuff it, I'll just go back to him and just tell him. And not only that, Kachan want to know that I met All Might. And so Izuku, instead of going home, he runs back to the area where he was meant to meet Bakugo Katsuki. And what goes down is All Might, when he's jumping towards the police station, he actually starts to run out of time and he feels it. He feels the smoke build up immediately and he directs himself down. He lands on the building and poof! He turns back into Small Might. All Might coughs out blood. He's like, I just made it. Damn, if I had to turn into my small form in midair, I could have died. I need a time destroy. Toshi, All Might thinks to himself, and he goes, well, I can still take the sludge monster back as my form right now. He slaps the side of his leg, and what happens is there's no sludge monster there. All Might freaks out, and then he hears distant explosions and glass smashing and people screaming just a couple of blocks away, and almost like, damn it! And he rushes after him and runs down. As he's running down there, unintentionally, Izuku's running to the same spot, and he starts to hear explosions, and so instinct takes over, and he goes, those explosions, they sound like Kachan's. Izuku starts to run, he goes, why would he be using this quirk in public? Izuku's running around now, Kachan! Kachan! Izuku gets there and he sees Bakugo. Well, he doesn't see Bakugo yet, but he sees the aftermath of Bakugo's explosions in the alley and in parts of the street, and he sees a massive crowd, and he sees dead arms, and the guy that does the fire hose guy, they're blocking off the area, keeping people away. Izuku's looking and seeing like, why are they doing nothing? Mount Lady, Kamui Woods, like, what the hell are they doing? And what happens is Izuku sees All Might, but he doesn't know that's All Might. And he looks over and he's like, damn, I gotta do something. And then once he sees the yellow hair come out, and he sees Bakugo's eyes, Izuku doesn't even hesitate. He's like, gotcha! Rushes right past, runs as fast as he can. This time, instead of his legs moving for him, Izuku willingly moves, so he forces himself. He runs past him, he grabs a brick, as he grabs whatever sharp object he can, and as he gets to the sludge monster, he throws his bag, making the sludge monster move. Izuku jumps up, puts his foot on where his Bakugo's head is, and keeps smashing the sludge monster's eyes, grabbing and pulling it off. He goes, I may not be able to get your physical body, but I know that your eyes are something else. Izuku keeps smashing it, holds onto one eye, and keeps smashing one other eye until it completely bleeds out and blocks up. The sludge monster forcefully releases himself and Bakugo. Bakugo falls to the ground. Izuku grabs and picks him up and starts to run with him backwards. He goes, come on, Kachan! Kachan! He's like, Deku, it's alright. Izuku's like, fine, guys, put me down. We'll do that one. Izuku's like, you want to do it? He goes, yeah. Alright then, Kachan. And he goes, I want to get back at the sludge bastard. He instantly starts to rub his hands. Sweat starts to build up. He goes, ready, Deku? He goes, yeah. Dead Arm's like, you two kids, get out of there now. What happens is the sludge monster reforms, and Bakugo goes, he goes, combination attack, human muscle. Izuku's like, let's go. He jumps up, Bakugo does a massive explosion on Izuku's back, a huge explosion, and Izuku rushes forward, puts his hands forward, and as the sludge monster manages to gather itself up and looks right at Izuku, Izuku smashes right through him, making the sludge splat everywhere. Izuku crashes into the wall like it's nothing, his whole body pinned into the wall, and when everyone's like, what did we just happen? What goes down is Dead Arms grabs Bakugo and goes, what the hell did you do that, kid? You just killed someone. And Bakugo goes, get your damn hands off me, useless hero. And he goes, no, I didn't. My best friend's right up there. You can't actually hurt him. And what happens is the sludge monster's out for the count. Izuku smashed right through him with his eyes on. And yeah, the sludge monster is, lying everywhere. Izuku, it's really hard for him, but he breaks himself out of the wall. He's like, he goes, man, I'm so lucky. He jumps off the wall and lands on the ground. Bakugo runs up to him and goes, hey Deku, you alright? And he goes, of course I am. And he goes, you know your t-shirt's broken, right? Your mum's gonna kill you. Izuku's like, ugh. damn! Bakugo kind of laughs at that, and Dead Arms and them are just looking at them like, these kids just went through some form of traumatic experience, and they're just laughing at each other. And so what goes down is they ask Izuku and Bakugo what their quirks are, and when Dead Arms finds out that Izuku's practically just indestructible, he goes, are you sure? And Izuku goes, yeah, why don't you punch me and find out? And he goes, I don't want to kill you, kid. And Izuku goes, ha, are you just too scared that you'll break your arm? That's what Bakugo says. And Dead Arms like, what? And he goes, go, give it a go, I dare you to. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to hurt him. And All Might's standing there listening to this, and he wants to protest, but he's still in small might form. And so what goes down is, Dead Arms goes, alright kid, don't say I warned you. He throws a punch, and what goes down is the media sees this, and when they see Dead Arms punch Izuku, they're like, what are you doing? And Izuku's head just moves slightly, and Dead Arms like, ah, what the hell? It's like I just punched something that couldn't be moved. And Izuku goes, well, yeah, my quirk affords me indestructibility, and I just pushed against your super strength. I don't have super strength myself, but thanks to my indestructibility, I come with natural resistance. I heal from damages naturally, I don't get tired like everyone else naturally. I naturally resist the push and pull of other forces naturally, okay? It just comes with my indestructible quirk. And what happens is, Dead Arms like, wow, kid, I'll never want to fight you. Oh, my poor hand. Everyone starts to laugh, and the media asks what he did, and he goes, I just lost the bet against these kids, and so I had to test my power on this boy. What's your name, young man? Well, my name is, and Bakugo goes, I'm Katsuki Bakugo, and this is Izuku Midoria. Me and him are going to both be either the next #1 or #2 heroes. So you hear that, All Might and Endeavor? You watch out for us too. And Izuku's like, Kachan! And they kind of laugh at that, and they're like, well, alright, well, you kids have a good day, okay, and you make sure you stay out of trouble. Understand that what you guys did was wrong, but at the same time, you did what was best, okay? And Izuku and them understand, they got told by this. And so as Bakugo and Izuku are walking home, Izuku completely forgot about All Might until he realized, oh, hey, Kachan! And he goes, yeah? Oh, I met All Might today. And he goes, whatever. And he goes, yeah, look, I even got a photo with him. Shows a photo of All Might, and in the signature, he goes, how dare you have a photo with me, nerd? Izuku's laughing, running away from him. He's like, ha 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 ha. And Bakugo's like, damn it. He starts to use the explosions, and then he sees a skinny skeletal man start to walk, and he stops and goes, oh, damn, I gotta stop using my quirk. Hey, Deku. And Izuku goes, yeah, he goes, thanks for saving me. He goes, hey, not to worry. If I was in that same position, I know for a fact you would have blown up the entire alley just to save me, right? And Bakugo laughs. Well, Izuku's response, he goes, yeah, I pretty much would. They both fist pump and go, see you tomorrow, yeah? And he goes, yeah, see you tomorrow. And Bakugo leaves, and Izuku is walking, and he walks past the skeletal man. And the skeletal man goes to him, well, I see that you did really well on that, young man. Much better than I expected. And it goes, thank you, do I know you? And he goes, you don't know me how I am right now, but you know me before. Instantly, for a brief moment, buffs up to show All Might, and he goes, this is what I look like when I do my hero form. However, poof, he puffs down to his skinny form. This is how I am every day, young man. And he explains to Izuku his injury and how he got it. And Izuku's like, I see, like, whoa. The symbol piece has been reduced to 3 hours? That's just sad. And he goes, tell me about it, kid. But this is where I look at it, young man. My luck turned around when I saw you. And he goes, when he saw me, he goes, yes. Quite ironically, you have a quirk that could perfectly work with my quirk, to be honest. As I told you, I could transfer my quirk. And because you have an indestructible body, and judging by the way your body looks, yeah, you could handle my quirk instantly, even if I was to give it to you right now. And Izuku's like, wait a minute, you want to give me a quirk, All Might? And he goes, that's what I want to ask you, young man. And he goes, how strong are you anyway? I saw you be able to take Dead Arms punch. Izuku goes, well, I just have a unique resistance quirk, within my indestructible mutation. And he goes, oh, it's a mutation. He goes, yeah, my quirk is actually a mutation. And he goes, I see. So my quirk would actually work out perfectly for you. Izuku looks at it and goes, well then, young man, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll send a text on the location for you to meet up, okay? And Izuku's like, alright, All Might. Hey, All Might. And he goes, yeah, can I bring my best friend with me too? Honestly, I technically don't do things without him. Like, he's a destructive mess, if you get what I mean. He goes, the exploding boy. Yeah, why not? It'll work out fine. As long as you can trust him, because I trust him with my life. He's my best friend. And All Might goes, well then, kid, then definitely bring him along. And Izuku's like, thank you, All Might. And so the next day, Izuku and Bakugo are heading towards Dagobah Beach, and Bakugo goes, "Why are we going to Dagobah Beach for? There's nothing to see there but trash, Deku." And he goes, "We're going to be meeting All Might, idiot. I told you that twice already." Bakugo goes, "Oh yeah, that's right, All Might. Well, why are we walking for?" Bakugo starts to run. "Means you're dead, nerd." And Izuku's like, "Damn you, Kachan." They begin to run, but Bakugo, he starts to lose his stamina, and that's where Izuku overtakes him easy. He goes, "What's the matter, Kachan? You feeling tired?" Izuku runs right past him, Max sprinting, and he's like, "Damn you, nerd, and your nearly limitless pool of energy. Take this!" Does an explosion and jump in front of Izuku. Izuku goes, "Hey, that's cheating, fool!" And he goes, "Tell me about it." And they begin to laugh, and when they get there, almost like, "What's this noise?" Until you see Bakugo landing out from the sky and right in front of him. He goes, "I win there, nerd!" And then Izuku's like, "Yeah, well, you still have to use your quirk to beat me." And he goes, "And you don't?" And he goes, "True, I do. And he goes, "Anyway, where's All Might anyway? He's Deku." And Izuku's like, "Well, he's right there." And he goes, "Who? Him? That skeletal man. The one that we saw yesterday." And he goes, "Yeah. Hey, All Might." And All Might's like, hey, Izuku? Midoria?" And he goes, "This is my best friend, Katsuki Bakugo." And he goes, "Bakugo, eh? Well, nice to meet you." He goes, "Wait, you telling me that this guy here is All Might? You're lying." All Might puffs up and goes, "No, young man, this is really me, All Might. You just see me in my hero form." Puffs back into a small form, and this is my everyday form. All Might explains, Izuku gives All Might the nod, and All Might explains everything upon the injury, but he doesn't explain one for all. He tells them that he's going to be doing some training with these young boys if they want, and over a period of time, when they prove themselves, they'll get to the point where he can now able to get them a form of license or a form of pass to allow them to use their quirks on the beach. And Bakugo, hearing the fact that All Might is going to train them, and if they do good, he's going to get permission for them to use their quirk around him. Bakugo's like, "What do you need me to do, All Might? Jump off the bridge, fly everywhere, save someone? Like, what do you need, All Might? I dropped the wheel for you." And Izuku's like, "Kachan, come on. You call me a fanboy." And Bakugo's like, don't ruin this moment for me, Deku, come on." Izuku's laughing. All Might goes, "Well, young man, all I ask for you guys is just to go on, continue with the hard work that I put in front of you, and if you guys do really good, then yeah." And his Bakugo goes, "Don't say no more. Hurry up, Deku, let's go." And Izuku's like, "Yeah, oh yeah, come in, Kachan." He goes, "Bakugo, you start first. I just need to quickly talk to Midoria for a bit." And he goes, "Oh yeah, all good." Bakugo begins to start moving rubbish. He don't care. He's gonna do it. He knows he can't use his quirk right now on it, but he's gonna do everything. And he starts to move things slowly but surely. All Might pulls out a hair before Bakugo notices, and he goes, "Izuku, young man, I would like to give you my quirk right now." And he goes, "You want to take me to take your quirk right now?" He goes, "Yes. Before you could possibly develop it to the point where you won't have none of the issues that could possibly come with having such a high level power." And Izuku goes, "I'm flattered, All Might, I really am, but I would like to go through the trials right now as I am at this present time, you know. I'm as strong as Kachan naturally, so I want to see if I can build myself up more and retain that strength and get stronger and stronger. And if you get what I mean." All Might goes, "I get it, young man, yeah. Well, of course, just let you know that when you are ready, one for all is yours." And Izuku's like, "Thank you, All Might, I definitely will. I won't let you down." And so what happens is Izuku and Bakugo, in doing the beach, they would have actually taken 5 months, technically, to empty the entire bridge. However, the unique thing about Izuku is he doesn't get tired. And he takes no physical damage from picking up things too much, okay? And so Izuku has to move things backwards and forward. He moves things backwards and forward, made their thing easier, where it actually took them 4 months to clean the entire Dagobah beach. When the city council hears upon this, they're like, "Oh my, are you sure kids did this?" And he goes, "Yeah, my two students right here, my 2 proteges." They're like, "Wow, All Might, that's incredible." And All Might goes, "Oh, by the way, I still asked for if I could possibly get those 2 recommendations for those 2 kids to at least use their quirks in my presence on the beach." And the Hero Commissioner and the Council are like, "Yeah, of course, All Might. What's their names?" And All Might gives them the names, Katsuki Bakugo, Izuku Midoriya, and goes, "Here you go. These are not temporary licenses, but at the same time, these are quirk passes. Because you're a pro hero, these kids can do their quirk training in front of you." And All Might goes, "Thank you so much. I appreciate this." And he goes, "Oh, there'll be a young if you ever see a person with him, a skinny man with blonde hair, his name is Toshi, okay?" They're like, "Alright, All Might." He goes, "He's also a person that I trust can help teach the kids." And he goes, "Fair enough, All Might. If any cops or any other people see them and they reports upon this, I'll let them know that they're there by All Might's request." And All Might goes, "Thank you so much." And so when All Might goes back, he goes back to the beach. Bakugo and Izuku are just training hand-to-hand martial arts, hand-to-hand combat. And unfortunately for Izuku, despite him being the better of the two with stamina, Bakugo is just skill-wise better. Really skill-wise better. He learned how to fight properly even with the explosions. He's a master, you know? And Izuku is not far behind him, but Bakugo is just great with his quirk, you know? It allows him to get stronger and stronger. But what happens is Izuku got stronger faster too, you know, through to this, and it dawned on Izuku, he can actually retain the strength that he gets, but there is a limit to how much he can go without, you know, having to need to push his body more and more and more. And so Izuku thinks that All Might appears. He goes, well, I have returned. And Bakugo and Izuku's like, oh, All Might. And he goes, well, you two are doing really well. I kind of like the backwards or forth. That's really good. I can only imagine what you guys will be like with your guys' quirks. And Bakugo goes, well, I know what I'll be like with my quirk. I don't know about Deku over here. His quirk is not flashy, but you don't want to get punched by him. Or punch him at the same time. And All Might's like, I can see. I saw Dead Arms almost break his hand punching his Midoria. Yes, I'm curious. I want to see how much of a punch that he can take from me. At the same time, I don't want to kill you, Midoria. Izuku's like, this is where his confidence doesn't take over, because All Might's completely different to Dead Arms, okay? And he goes, yeah, well, All Might, at this present time, I don't want to be put in a coma right now. All Might, Bakugo laugh, and he goes, well, you two, I have got permission from the council and the Hero Commission to allow you two to train in front of me. And when I can't be in my All Might form, you guys can still train in front of me. The cops already know that another person named Toshi, which is my name, Toshinori, and Izuku and Bakugo are still kind of fangirling, over the situation, you know. They're like, yeah, well, all good, All Might. And so what goes down, he just note, for the next 3 months, your guys' training is going to be hell. But it's fighting styles and all that you've done, Katsuki or Bakugo, you're going to be doing that with your explosions now. Pushing your explosions to maximum level. You say you need to generate sweat to do your quirk, right? Well, he brings a massive boiling pot of water outside of his vehicle, and he goes, here. He puts it on the burner and he goes, I want to boiling water here. You put your hand in and you use it as a way to make your explosions bigger. This is what you're going to be training, alright? He goes, yes, All Might, yes. And he goes, you can begin. Midoria, we have 6 months until the UA entrance exams. He goes, are you ready for my quirk? And Izuku goes, nervously, All Might, I don't believe I am, but it's now or never, and I gave you a promise. All Might goes, thank you, young Midoria. I really appreciate this. I was hoping you wouldn't have second thoughts. You're the only one I consider perfect for this quirk. To be honest, your friend over here is also another person I'll deem as another candidate. And Izuku goes, damn, if only he got it. He goes, well, here, young man. He goes, what do I need to do with this? So you need to eat this. Eat this. Izuku's like, eat this? Like, what? Sorry. He goes, well, technically you need to ingest my DNA to get my quirk. And Izuku's like, oh, I see. And he goes, gross. He tours it up, eats it, and grabs the water and starts to drink it. And he goes, how long will it take? And he goes, depends upon your metabolism, young man. And Izuku goes, oh, then it won't take long at all. All Might goes, what do you mean? I've got a very fast metabolism. My body naturally stores protein and all that stuff, so I burn all the fat naturally. So I have a really fast, metabolism. All Might goes, interesting. So it could happen anytime. Well, get to it, young man. Start to do your laps, do your press-ups, all that stuff. Go on. And Izuku goes off and he starts to do so. And what happens is after about an hour, Izuku starts to feel this strange tingling in his body. And as Izuku runs, he takes a step and he just instinctively wants to jump. As he does so, this green lightning arcs out of his body. And this mark appears over Izuku's body for the first and last time. Because I'm going to state, Izuku's not going to have that same look when he goes into One for All. And only his full cowling, okay, or 100%, that's when he goes into that form. But naturally, he won't go through that stupid lines, because I don't like it. But anyway, as Izuku does that, he instantly jumps in the air by accident. He jumps really far, causing a huge shockwave, which shocks Bakugo and All Might. And Izuku's like, what the hell just happened? Izuku looks down on himself, like, hey, I'm actually fine. What's going on? And Izuku's beginning to float down and goes, I shouldn't worry about that. I should angle myself how I'm going to hit the ground. And he instantly glides himself towards the beach, to where the water is, and he hits the water, smashing right through the water, hitting the ground. And Izuku's like, okay. I need to watch out how I do that. He gets out of the water, and All Might goes, Midoria, are you alright? And he goes, yeah, All Might, I am fine. He goes, remember what I told you about using my quirk at 100%, blah, blah, blah? And Izuku goes, yeah. And he goes, but your leg's not broken. And Izuku's like, well, maybe it has to do with my indestructible quirk. And All Might goes, he swears and goes, yes, it does. He buffs up and goes, now is the time for true training. Bakugo Katsuki, Izuku Midoria. Ha ha ha. your training truly begins. And so we're going to do a massive 6-month time gap from when they started their actual training, besides the lifting of the cleaning of the beach, and the beginning of UA. Izuku and Bakugo are just ripped up and buff. They're strong. Bakugo is so much stronger than his canon counterpart. You can't even compare him to himself, you know? Like, honestly. And Izuku, well, All Might finds out from the get-go that Izuku, thanks to his quirk, he's able to access and use 100% one for all on individual body parts. But when it came down to him learning how to actually use one for all through his body, All Might couldn't teach him properly. And so he had to go to his old master, Gran Torino. Gran Torino came on the last month of their training and whipped both boys into shape to the point where Bakugo has extreme reaction time, thanks to Gran Torino. And Izuku can use full cowling. Bear in mind, Izuku can use 100% one for all. And why I say he can use a 100% for one for all, he has an indestructible quirk, guys. It's a mutation. Indestructible body. That's his power, okay? And if he hurts himself, he heals. And most notably, Izuku's own weaknesses are he needs to eat. Okay, I forgot to say that last time. He needs to eat a lot, not like Flash, but he still needs to eat to keep us, you know, and drink, because I need to make a weakness one. But anyway, All Might's quite impressed. Bakugo, by a certain point in time, was made aware that Izuku has one for all, and he doesn't mind. He goes, "It's perfect. I didn't want to break my bones and all that damn stuff." And Bakugo goes, "This means that I need to try harder to beat this nerd. Because technically I've never won in a fight against him, and he's never won in a fight against me." And Izuku's like, "Fair enough, yeah, we haven't. We pretty much stalemate each other out." They both fist bump. And All Might goes, "Well, make sure, young man, because if more of that power manifests, like that Black Whip ability continues to manifest, just let me know, okay? And if you can, try and train that a quirk." And he goes, "Yes, All Might." And Gran Torino goes, "You two young boys make me proud." And they're both like, "Yes, Sensei," to Gran Torino, because they all know that All Might is super scared of Gran Torino. He gets his ass beat by Gran Torino. So Bakugo and Izuku listen to Gran Torino, because they just, even though Izuku's indestructible, doesn't mean that he can't be pushed around and be made a fool like hundreds of times a day. And so what goes down is Izuku and Bakugo entering the school and that they are confident as. Bakugo goes, "I hope we're not put into the same era to do the same hero course." And Izuku goes, "Well, you were given the recommendation, you should have just taken it." And he goes, "And what? You didn't take it, so why should I?" And Izuku's like, good point. And what happens is Izuku trips on the stone, and Uraraka saves him. And Bakugo goes, "Why did you save him for?" And she's like, "What?" And Izuku's like, "Oh, come on, Kachan." And he looks back and he goes, "Oh, and you saved me. Oh, thank you so much. I didn't need your help, but that's fine, thank you." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw you falling and I had to help." And Izuku goes, "That's cool. Qualities of a hero." And she smiles and Bakugo looks at her and he kind of blushes. And Izuku's like, "Kacha." And it's like, "Shut up, nerd." And what goes down is Uraraka, because he's so bright, she goes, "Well, sorry about that, Izuku." No, don't worry, don't apologize. My name is Izuku Midoria. This is my idiot friend here, Katsuki Bakugo." And Bakugo goes, "Deku!" And Izuku's like, and he goes, "What's your name?" And she's like, "Oh, my name is Ochaku Uraraka. It's nice to meet both of you." And Izuku's like, "Nice to meet you too." And Bakugo goes, "Yeah, it's great meeting you, round face." She blushes at that, and Izuku's like, "A registration. So not only Bakugo registered her, but she registered him. Izuku's walking back and he goes, "Well, I'll see you guys inside, lovebirds." Bakugo goes, "Hey, damn it, nerd, get here!" Walks up to him and Uraraka's like blushing, like, "What?" And what goes down to the back, they both sit down, and Bakugo and Izuku are just muttering at each other, like bickering and funny in the auditorium. And President Mike explains everything, and Izuku and Bakugo are still bickering, kind of giggling back and forth, taking shots at each other. And Ida stands up and dictates to President Mike that he's doing everything wrong, you know, he's missing out of robots. And he looks back at Izuku and Bakugo and tells them both to be quiet. And Bakugo looks at him and goes, "Why don't you take the carrot at your butt and sit the hell down? It has nothing to do with you. And if you just shut up and listen, the other robot will be explained. Gosh." And he looks at him and goes, "Oh, how rude, you shouldn't." And Bakugo stands up, has a little explosion in his hand. He goes, "You better shut the hell up and sit down. You may talk to me like this, but you may talk to my friend like this, but don't you dare seem to try to disrespect me." Explosions happen in his hand, and Izuku like, "Catch on." And what goes down is Ida's like shocked and sits down. And what goes down is President Mike goes, "Whoa, Yeah, well, whatever he said, you know? The robot's a 0-pointer, so it's pointless going after it, okay? So, yeah, everyone begin the test. Everyone begins the test like in canon, and Izuku and Bakugo ace it. Izuku actually beats him in the written test, and this is when it comes to the city exams. Both Bakugo and Izuku are put in individual cities, and Izuku gives Bakugo a fist bump, and Bakugo goes, I'm gonna win this, no, don't you forget. And he goes, I won't. And just know, Kachan, I'm gonna win this, okay? Exploding boy. And Bakugo goes, shut up, pinhead. And they both laugh at each other. And they walk away, and Izuku's standing there, and Chaco is nervous, and Izuku sees this, and he walks over. Ida walks up to Izuku, and he goes, I will stop that if I was you. Go into the Indestructible. And Izuku's like, what the hell are you talking about? I saw what you were doing, walking past her. Where's the front of the gate? Right behind her, right? Ida looks at Izuku, and Izuku walks over to him. You know, you've been pissing me off today. You really have. Walks up to Ida and intimidates him. He goes, please stop doing that. I don't like it, okay? You're not seeing me in your face giving you jabs when it comes to what you're doing, right? Ida just stops and he goes, ugh. But I'm just, he goes, but you're just what? And as Izuku notices the gate opens, Izuku's like, green lightning appears around Izuku and he disappears immediately. And he's like, wait, what? And as they notice the gate open, Ida's like, he's cheating! You should disqualify him. President Mike goes, there's no start time in the actual hero exam or hero or villain incident. You guys need to get moving, get. As they get around, all they see is robots destroyed left, right, and center, you know? Left, right, and center are absolutely, utterly annihilated in both areas. When both the gates open for both Bakugo and Izuku in their individual fields, they flew out and destroyed everything. Bakugo's favorite move at a long distance is a machine gun AP shot, where you can shoot like, well, machine gun version of APs and accurately knock out robots because he's the man. And he doesn't need to use both hands, he can just use his one hand to put his thumb underneath his fingers and leave a tiny gap and shoot bombs, a little explosion, like bombs at different targets. And Bakugo does really well, which shocks everyone. And not only that, he's able to really pseudo fly, do massive explosion eruptions, you know, like all that stuff. He's just great. And not only that, this Bakugo has a sense of helping and rescuing people. He still Katsuki Bakugo. It's in his nature to be explosive, you know, but he still does really well. And on Izuku's point, Izuku utilizes his main quirk, the stockpiling quirk. His indestructible quirk is just his, you know, his normal quirk, so he doesn't do nothing about it. But what it does is he uses his strength, speed, and two unique quirks that All Might doesn't use, which is Float and Black Whip. Izuku gets around smashing through robots, meaning he doesn't have full control of Black Whip, and Float comes natural to him because it's much more easier. But Izuku's able to smash through robots, stand in the sky, look around and smash right through to other robots, more, left, right, and center. The only bigger difference between Izuku and Bakugo is, besides Izuku's versatile quirks, is the fact that he doesn't get tired. And because he doesn't get tired, he can just keep going and going and going and going. And to the point where Izuku racks up the highest score at this present time without rescuing anyone. Izuku has the last 3-pointer and crushes his head. He goes, I think that's it. Izuku instantly uses 20%, jumps up on the roof, and lands. He goes, I think I have enough time for a nap. Yeah, let's give this a go. Izuku goes to sit down, and as he sits down, he sees buildings around him, windows start to crack. Izuku's like, what the? He feels a vibration on the ground, he turns around, and sees debris fall everywhere, and he sees the 0-pointer, and Izuku's like, whoa, what the hell is that? He gets closer to look at it, and he goes, where does UA get the budget to do this type of stuff? Like, man! And Izuku's like really impressed, standing on the side of the robot on the left side, and as he's jumping around looking at it, he sees everyone running away, and he goes, that's good, that's a wise idea, good on you guys. And as Izuku looks down, he briefly underneath the smoke cover, he sees Ochako, and Izuku's like, he's like, ooh, Raka. Boom! Instantly, without hesitating, I said, Izuku does not hesitate. His legs are not the things that make him move, it's his mind, his will is will alone. Izuku appears straight away, smashing right through the robot's side, making a tip to one side, and he jumps down. He grabs Uraraka and jumps away, using Float and his max speed to get to a certain position. Izuku puts it down, and because Izuku punched the robot and unbalanced it, cracking half its side, and what goes down is the robot starts to speed forward, and he's starting to lose his balance to the point where he's actually got to fall forward. President Mike even, Nizu like, oh, you kids, get out of there now! The robot has lost control and we can't stop it! Oh, heroes are coming! All Might rushes off, and Izuku's like, alright then, no one can stop it, let's give this a go. Well, Izuku breathes in and exclaims, Just stay here. I won't be long. Izuku walks forward. As the robot's starting to speed up, everyone's like, get out of the way, let's go, let's go. Izuku's like, huh, alright then. I know what it's like to punch it on the side, that's what threw it off, right? But if I punch right through it, then the robot will still carry its momentum. Let's give this a go. Izuku goes, one for all. 100%! Jumps right in the mid-air, jumps right past the robot. He instantly does a black whip and wraps around the robot from the other side. And he kicks the air using a float. And he instantly starts to pick the entire robot off the ground. And everyone's like, what the? Izuku throws the robot over his head. And then flies over and throws the robot into the forest. And Izuku kicks the air again, boosts and max into the sky. And as the robot hits the ground, Izuku instantly drops down. He does a Detroit Smash! Punches the robot. The let's just say the shockwave at the south destroys all the windows in the entire mock city where Izuku was at. And bear in mind, Izuku threw the robot outside of the training thing. He threw the robot by the forest area. And as everyone sees this, All Might lands on top of a building. He's like, he's super impressed. All the heroes are like, what did we just watch? I was like, damn, that kid's gonna be a problem. Oh, Nezu, I'm guessing you're gonna be placing him in my class. Nezu taps his cup with his spoon. He goes, yes, Aizawa, he's definitely gonna be in your class. Yes, problem child. What's his name? Izuku Midoria. What's his quirk? Indestructibility. What? But what is his other quirks that come with it? And what happened is, it's like, maybe he manifests these unique type of quirks after a lot of training. Because I see that he's done a lot of, what's it called, hand-to-hand combat training. And he's trained with All Might. And they're like, what? He trained with All Might? How strange. Oh well. His scores are great. He looks like he does really well. What goes down, and Nezu goes, so who do you think out of this year's recruits are going to do well? And he goes, well, I don't even need to say, really. That Midoria kid, he's something else. He's better than All Might. All Might hears this, he's like, oh, it hurts his pride, and he goes, and that kid over there, what's his name? Bakugo. Yeah, he's something else too. Those two kids are going to destroy this school upon how good they are. It's time for me to put them in their place. Aizawa says, what goes down is Izuku and Bakugo finished, like they finished what they've done. Everyone's like runs up to Izuku like, whoa, you're so amazing. Izuku's like, yeah, I'm okay, don't worry about that. And what goes down is Recovery heals Uraraka's leg, and he goes, are you alright? And she goes, yeah, I'm fine, thank you, Izuku. And he goes, not at all, you're all good. And Izuku walks away, and as he's about to walk away, Ida sees him and goes, I misjudged you. I apologize if I've been rude and everything. Izuku goes, it's alright, don't worry. I understand, people are different. Look at my best friend. His quirk is explosions, but by his very nature, he's explosive. That's his attitude, that's how he is. Like he's calmed down over the years, but yeah, just by that, that's his notion. So if by any chance that your quirk affects your emotion, I'm not going to judge you by it. Ida's like, oh, well, I never looked at it that way. And Izuku like smiles and he goes, don't worry about it. He goes, judging by you how well you did, I'll see you in UA as well. Well, see you, Ochako. And is it Ida? And he goes, yeah, turn your Ida. He goes, see you, Ida. Nice meeting you, by the way. And the name is Izuku Midoriya, by the way. Izuku walks away and goes, and Ida's like, wow, he is better than me in every way, and here's me criticizing him. I need to learn to shut up. That's what Ida says. And as Izuku walks away, and he waits for Bakugo at the exit of the school. Bakugo goes, so how did you do, nerd? And Izuku goes, well, I did pretty fine. And Bakugo goes, did you take out the 0-pointer? Of course. Why wouldn't I? Did you? And he goes, yeah, of course I did. I did it flashy, of course. And Izuku goes, that makes sense. And Bakugo goes, what happened to yours? And they're walking back, talking, like muttering, like out loud, like they find it funny. And what goes down is a week and a half goes by, and Izuku and Bakugo are training hardcore physically, hand-to-hand combat. Even though they don't use their quirks much, when they come to their hand-to-hand, they just push themselves non-stop. Bakugo starts to realize that Izuku's 1-4 quirk actually perfectly merged with his Indestructible mutation, which allowed for Izuku to increase his strength more and more without even showing the green lightning. But whenever he goes to 100%, he can't hide it. And so what goes down is Bakugo gets his one about an hour before Izuku gets his, and so they watch Bakugo's, and All Might goes, I am here to tell you that you, Katsuki Bakugo, made it into UA Academy. I will say that you actually destroyed my score, but you got the next best score, 2nd place, unfortunately. However, it doesn't mean that you come short though. You still get a ribbon, of course, to prove that you beat my score. And in turn, it allows for you to have that ranking. Izuku's like, oh, great. Bucko's like, great. And he realizes, Deku, you won, didn't you? And Izuku's like, how do I know? I haven't got my neck, Kachan, come on. Bucko goes, damn. And so it goes down as when All Might brings up his one. Of course Izuku passes. Of course. He goes, you got the highest score ever. And seeing what you did with the 0-pointer, yeah. Everyone was super impressed. And All Might goes, I'm very grateful to tell you that you have been accepted into UA Young Midoria, so you're welcome. Izuku thanks All Might. Both Izuku and Bucko rush off to tell Inko, because they're at Izuku's house. And Inko goes, well, you stayed in the night, Katsuki? And he goes, yeah, Inko. And she goes, oh, well, then you can have some dinner with us. Big feast on us. And so she makes a massive feed. They both celebrate. And when it comes to the first day of school, Izuku and Bucko just talking to each other like normal, how they normally would. Bucko explained that he thinks he has a new super move, and not only that, he believes his quirk is starting to get stronger. And Izuku goes, what, how do you know that? And he goes, well, I'm starting to feel this weird sensation on my feet, much like how I had in my hands. And Izuku kind of laughs. It's like, what do you mean, weird sensation on your feet? Are you starting to sweat on your feet? Kachan. And Bucko looks at Izuku with such a red but aggro face. And he goes, what the hell does that mean, Deku? And Izuku goes, nothing at all. Are you sure it's sweat though? And it's like, I didn't piss in my pants, Deku. And Izuku kind of laughs. And he goes, I need to be standing up for it to go down my leg, right? And Izuku's like, oh, you have a fair point, you were lying down. And he goes, obviously, and there'll be a pool of water on my bed. And Izuku's like, oh, yeah, wow, I got you. Yeah, alright. Your quirk's evolving. Maybe, and Izuku goes, maybe your quirk's getting to a point where you can use your explosions at your feet too. And Bucko goes, that seems weird, but it seems cool at the same time. Izuku goes, yeah, but the problem you're gonna face is all the shoes you're going to buy or all the socks you're gonna have to re-get, Kachan. Bucko goes, I didn't think about that. Damn, that actually is worse than I thought. Izuku goes, hey, at least you'll be able to fly without using your arms. Maybe you can use the hypothetical exploding your feet ability to get you everywhere. Bucko goes, you're loving this, aren't you? And goes, of course I am. Of course I'm loving this. And Izuku goes to the door and he goes, damn, it's one big door. And he goes, they must have one massive extra at the school. And Izuku's like kind of smiling and goes, yeah, probably they do, but we won't know. They open the door, and Izuku and Bucko are the first one in. And what happens is they both sit side to side, not Izuku in the front and behind them. They both sit side to side next to each other. Bakugo doesn't have his feet on the table at all. They both understand, they have their own, they just sit there and they're still talking. Ida walks in and he goes, oh, it's you again, Midoria, right? Izuku's, Ida, nice to meet you. Kachan, this is Tenya Ida, this is Katsuki Bakugo, my exploding friend. Remember I told you about? And he goes, oh yes, I see. It is nice to meet you. And he goes, nice to meet you too. And what goes down is they talk to each other and everything like that. And this is when they come to the realization that Tenya Ida's quirk is a mutation, you know, on his legs. And Izuku said, well, you got a mutation quirk too. Well, that's what my quirk is. My quirk Indestructibility is a mutation quirk. And all the stuff, every other quirk that you see that I've used comes from this quirk. So my quirk is a multi-tooled quirk, if you get what I mean. I can't explain to you, but yeah. And he goes, wow, that's pretty functional and cool, Midoria. That's really cool. And Izuku's like, no, don't worry. Ida takes a seat, and they all begin to talk, you know. And this is where Chaka comes in, and of course Chaka comes in, and she goes, it's Izuku and Katsuki, right? And Bucko sees Uraraki. It's like, she's so bright. Izuku notices Bucko and he goes, Kachan, should I get her number for you? And he goes, wait, shut up, Deku! And Izuku's like, and he goes, wait till I tell Aunt Mitsuki that you've got a crush on a girl. Bucko looks at Izuku, Deku, do you want to die? And he goes, I've been waiting for you to do what you said. How long has it been now, Kachan? And Bucko kind of looks at him like serious, like, oh yeah, you're right. Oh well, shut up. And he goes, hey, Ochaka, and from there they all meet up, and she sits down. And this is when Izuku notices the sleeping bag, and he goes, this is unusual. Is that someone's quirk or something? Aizawa comes out and he explains everything. Hi everyone, I'm Shota Aizawa, and today we're going to be doing a quirk evaluation test. Put these on and meet me down to the court area, okay? And as he walks out, Uraraki's like, but sir, when we miss orientation, he goes, a hero doesn't wait and do all these ceremony stuff. I find it a waste of time. You guys are my students, and I get to do whatever I see fit to make you guys the top heroes. If that means expelling you, then I will. Hurry up! Don't waste my time. I want a snack. I want a nap. So what happens is Izuku and Bakugo rush off. They all go off together. And they're talking in the changing rooms, and Kirishima just has envious eyes over Izuku and Bakugo. He goes, damn, you two have like mean ripped bodies, I must tell you, like damn. Izuku's like, well, thank you. What's your name? He goes, my name's Kaminari. And what's your quirk? Oh, hardening. He goes, hardening? That's pretty cool. Because look at it. And he grabs his hand. He goes, can you harden your hand as hard as you can? He goes, why? He hards it and punches Izuku in the head. And hey, dude, what are you doing? You could have hurt yourself. And Izuku goes, my quirk's indestructible. I'm indestructible. And he's like, oh. He goes, well, that's pretty cool. And he goes, I do get like augmented strength and speed and so that due to my indestructible skin. But yeah, other than that, yeah. And Kirishima's like, wow, alright. And so what goes down is, as everyone goes from the bathroom and heads into the courts, this is why Aizawa goes, alright, today guys, we're going to be doing a super quick evaluation to see where you guys actually rank up to. Throws the ball to Izuku Midoriya and goes, Midoria, you're first. What's the highest score you got into, your school with when it comes to throwing the ball? And Izuku's like, about 1,000 meters, almost? And he's like, what? He goes, yeah, about 1,000 meters. And he goes, but you know, he's a quirk. And Izuku goes, well, that's the thing. My quirk's a mutation quirk. So I'm able, like, it's natural. It's a part of me completely different. Like, I can explain to you, and as I was like, natural. What's it called? One of those type of quirks. So he goes, alright, dude. So Izuku stands in the middle of the circle. He puts his arm back. But he uses 100% one for all. And as he throws the ball, Aizawa cancels his quirk. But what happens is he cancels the indestructible. He cancels the the one for all quirk. However, he can't cancel the mutation quirk within Izuku. Izuku throws the ball and it reaches 1,200 meters. And Aizawa's like, but how? I stopped this quirk. And Izuku goes, that was a weird feeling I felt. And so what goes down is everyone gets pretty much the same score. Bakugo gets the second highest, of course. The third highest, because Uraraki gets number 1. Izuku gets number 2, and Bakugo gets number 3 on the throwing test. Izuku beats Mineta at sidestepping. And so what goes down is everyone passes, well, everyone but Mineta passes, but Aizawa doesn't do what he does, but, you know, fun torture. And so what goes down is everyone heads up home. It comes to the next day. The next day, this is when the class reps have been decided and everyone gets their names. At the same time, also, this is when they all get hounded by the mobs and reporters. And so when they're on side and they're all talking, what goes down, lunch period comes. And Izuku is talking, sitting there, and then what happens is the alarm goes off. And Izuku's like, what the? And everyone's starting to panic and go, well, what's going on? And Izuku's like, what the hell? Bear in mind, Izuku is class rep, okay, him and Momo. And you'll understand why soon. What happens is as Izuku does this, he instantly uses float and he glides over to where the windows are. All the students are looking up like, whoa, this kid can fly. And Izuku's like, what the hell? It's just reporters. And Izuku, instead of yelling at everyone, he does 100% 1-4 flicks in front of everyone. Everyone gets hit by the pressure and they're like, what the? And Izuku powers down and goes, everyone get a hold of yourselves. You're acting like gigantic children. They look at Izuku and he goes, it's just reporters, and if they are actually villains, the heroes here will annihilate them. Hurry up and wise up. Yeah, and so they all get over it, and Izuku pretty much puts all of them in their place, unfortunately for them. So after everyone finally figures out that there's nothing really truly to worry about, what goes down is everyone goes back to their classrooms all the same. Now Aizawa's in there, he clearly states to them that he's not going to be the teacher for now. Right now, their next teacher is going to be, he should be here very, very soon. And of course, we all know who it is. Stomping through the door, smashing the door wide open. He goes, I am here, walking through the class like a normal person. Bakugo and Izuku smack their heads, they're like, man, oh mate, you're so... Everyone else is like, oh my, blah, 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 blah. But Izuku and Bakugo are like, you're an idiot. And what happens, Aizawa notices it, and then he goes, yep, these two are my problem children. Damn. And what goes down from here is All Might explains the hero versus villain situation, and he also tells everyone that they need to suit up. Everyone suits up, but this time though, it's not going to be Izuku fighting against Bakugo this time. No, it's going to be Bakugo and Tenya Ida versus Ochako and Todoroki. And the reason why I say that is because I just needed to change it, and I want to set up something different, okay? Set up a situation where a rivalry builds between them, okay? And so what goes down is Bakugo goes upstairs like with Ida, and they go the same. What happens though is when Bakugo goes upstairs and Ida and them go, Todoroki tells Uraraka that she won't need to do nothing, she just needs to stay here, don't go into the building, it'll be dangerous. She's like, what? But we need to get the bomb. Todoroki goes, as I said, not to worry, we got this. As All Might goes begin, Todoroki touches the wall, immediately freezes the entire building, even blasting right into Bakugo. The moment the ice appears by Bakugo, he immediately claps his hands together and does as big of an explosion as he can. And he keeps the ice off him, but he gets shot back by the immense force by the ice. And Bakugo like, what the hell? Todoroki walks through, and Uraraka follows him. And he just doesn't say nothing to her. And as he gets to the top floor, Bakugo has finally gotten up properly. He's like, damn, what was that? And looks over, and Todoroki's like, huh, you're still able to move. Interesting. And as he walks in, Ida already broken through the ice using his reciprocal burst. And he jumps up to throw a kick at, Todoroki. He manages to land a clean kick on Todoroki. But he didn't see Uraraka right behind him. As Todoroki gets blasted by, Uraraka grabs Ida's leg and makes him float, and Ida instantly starts to float in the air. He tries to use his reciprocal burst again, but he's spinning around like an idiot. Bakugo ceases, he rushes over and to grab Uraraka and knock her down and tape her up. But what goes down is Todoroki gets up and throws ice at Bakugo. Bakugo turns around, instantly shoots multiple AP shots at the ice. Uraraka tries to grab Bakugo, but he instantly spins around and puts his knee on her back, slams her onto the ground. And he goes, you're over. He has explosions right next to her, and she gives up because, well, Bakugo looks at her and he kind of like, it's just weird. Like, and Todoroki's like, he's like, you're pretty strong, but not strong enough. Immediately throws ice at them. Bakugo instantly jumps over, and because he knows if this ice hits him, it's gonna hit Uraraka as well. And Bakugo jumps over, and he's really pissed off, and he shoots a massive explosion at Bakugo, saving Uraraka. And Bakugo goes, what the hell, you stupid icy heart? And he's like, what? And Bakugo rushes over, does explosions, and he does a multiple spinning kick. And as Bakugo, as the mist disappears, Bakugo's kick lands right into Todoroki's head, kicking him, smashing him into the wall this time. And this Bakugo, he's really pissed off because Todoroki actually threatened not only put himself in danger, but Uraraka as well. He instantly compressed his hand, sat back, and punched Todoroki right in the gut again, and one more in the face for good measure. Bear in mind, this is a strong as Bakugo, okay? He's got training, okay, with All Might and Izuku. He fights in an indestructible boy all his childhood. This Bakugo is not someone to mess with, and he's pissed off, okay? He punches Todoroki 3 more times and holds him in the air, and he goes, yeah, one thing to attack me, but to attack her, yeah, this is stupid. Bakugo throws Todoroki away. Uraraka is shocked that Bakugo was like that too, you know? Bakugo walks over to the bomb, and he touches the bomb right away, because he's really mad. And touching the bomb, what goes down is, Uraraka's like, whoa, he's pretty cool. Ida comes down, Bakugo's just really pissed off at Todoroki, and Todoroki and Bakugo just have this tension between the two, eh? Bakugo goes, what? Dual color here? Anytime, any place, bring it. And Todoroki just has this mean scowl to him, eh? And what goes down is Izuku takes the place of, of Todoroki, where him and the guy with the multiple arms guys go into the building, and what goes down is that's when Hogakure and the guy with the tails is at as well. Izuku walks in and immediately feels a presence come past in the building, and the guy with the tails rushes and attacks Izuku. Izuku's able to duck and dodge, and they at first have a great one-on-one battle, you know? And Izuku loves the combat. He's like, wow, you're a great fighter, even with your tail. That's incredible. He takes Midoria, and then what happens is Izuku leaves himself open briefly, just for something purposeful. And as they follow the tail, instantly spins around and smacks him with the tail. Izuku catches it and slams him into the wall. He goes, your Quirk is good if you weren't fighting someone that's literally indestructible. Spins him around again, smashes him into the wall, and then tapes him up. And he goes, but you did well, and I respect your fighting style. That's incredible. Izuku tapes him up, and they walk in. When Izuku gets upstairs to where the bomb was, he sees that the guy with the multiple arms is getting punched and hit by someone that's invisible. Izuku goes, alright then. Instantly uses Black Whip and spins it around the room, and immediately catches Hogakure and wraps her and pins her into the roof. And he goes, thank you, Midori. And Izuku says, no problem. He touches the bomb, and heroes win. And from there, everything goes relative. And as they walk home, Izuku and Bakugo walking, Tenya and Uraraka walking up slowly. Izuku's like, so when are you gonna confess? When are you gonna tell the truth and tell me that you like Uraraka? Bakugo's like, and Izuku goes, you only blush when there's a hot girl, cute girl, or someone that really takes your fancy, Kachan, you know this. Bakugo's like, shut up, nerd. Izuku's like, sooner or later you're gonna tell me, Kachan, you know it. And Bakugo's like, he's like, Deku, shut up. And Izuku's like, and Uraraka and Tenya come and they speak, and they all like praise each other, you know. And what goes down is Bakugo and Izuku leave to their own home, and they come back the next day. When they come back, or the next couple of days, I don't know, but next day, this is when the USJ situation heads about, and so they all get on the bus and they all head out. Of course, Izuku tells them it's putting us all into our rows because, well, you know. As they're sitting there, Sui, of course, is the only one that has the guts to talk to Izuku the way he does. Sorry, I need to stand up because my leg was pretty sore. Sorry if you heard me move. Izuku is looking at it, and Izuku goes, so your quirk is all pretty much like All Might's, right? And Izuku goes, well, yeah, kind of in a way, but you just can't predetermine because I have super strength and kind of a unique durability that All Might has the same power as me. It is similar by all intents and purposes, but I can create these, what is called Black Whip. These are another form of my quirk, okay? These are different forms of adaptations that come out of my quirk, because my main quirk is a mutation quirk, you see? Much like a meaner skin is, you know? And they're like, whoa, I get you. And so he goes, yeah, so in all reality, my quirk's just a jumbled up quirk with multiple factors. They're like, wow, that's incredible. You're definitely one of the most strongest in our class. Bakugo goes, don't inflate his head, but I'm just going to say this right now. He is the strongest in our class. If he never holds back against any of us, we all would fight him and he will destroy all of us. And Izuku looks at Bakugo and goes, oh, Kachan, come on. Don't scare them like that. He goes, it's the truth, Deku. Just get over it. And Izuku's like, alright. Aizawa heard this and he goes, so problem child's holding back, I see. Interesting. And so what goes down is they get to the Hero Age, well, USJ, the Unforeseen Simulation Joint. And that's where they meet 13. She explains her saying jibber jabber and they walk in. This is when Izuku starts to have the first inklings of danger sense starting to fully awaken in his mind properly. Because all the quirks are there within one for all of Izuku's body. However, Izuku himself hasn't activated it yet fully. You get what I mean? Izuku's power and quirk itself hasn't activated. And there's a reason for that, to be honest. And Izuku and All Might won't know until, well, you'll get the gist of it soon. Where Izuku's all his quirks within his body will activate, like Fire Jin, Smoke Screen, Black Whip, Float, you know, Danger Sense, Stockpile. Izuku has all these quirks. I don't know the last user, but once the last user comes into play, his quirk, then we'll know. But until then, I don't know. But what goes down is Izuku starts to feel it. He's like, what the? He walks over and he goes, Aizawa Sensei, I feel a lot of malicious intent coming now. A portal opens and Aizawa sees us and he goes, 13, this is not a drill. We need to get all the students out of here. Midoria, Bakugo, you two are the strongest in the class. Make sure everyone is protected. Go! And Bakugo and Izuku, like, they listen to Aizawa and everyone gets to rush. That they understand they need to rush. And as they rush away, Aizawa jumps down. Izuku knows that he can help out, but his teacher said so, so they leave. And this is when Kurogiri jumps in the way. This time it wasn't just Bakugo that jumped at Kurogiri. It was Kirishima. Sorry, they both did the same. And 13 had to stop her attack, and Kurogiri himself, well, he still does the same thing. He separates everyone, puts them all through different portals. And Izuku lands by the water, but he lands by the water, not in the water. He lands by the water because he lands in mid-air. He stops himself from touching the water, and he backflips onto the boat. And this is when Sui comes up with Manila. And Izuku sees and he evaluates immediately. He realizes that they don't have time to sit here and let these guys, well, do what they need to do. And Izuku goes, I have an idea, but you guys need to go to the shore, okay? And he goes, Su's like, alright. And Izuku instantly grabs Su and Mineta, and he tells Su to hold on to Mineta while he throws her. He spins and throws Su all the way to shore. Izuku jumps in the air, pretty much sinking the boat, using 100%. He pulls his arm back and he goes, let's see how you guys do under this. He goes, Detroit Smash! 100% one for all. That 100% hits the water, causing a massive whirlpool that sucks everyone into the ground. And what happens is a lot of them drown and become unconscious, you know, like they can't do nothing. The water slowly but surely drowns because Izuku punctured the entire ground into an open hole. I'm just going to say that. And so as Izuku floats in midair, he instantly jumps back and he lands by, Sue and Mineta. As that goes down, what happens is Shigaraki's almost about to grab Sue. Izuku sees this without even hesitating. Black Whip comes out of Izuku's body, wraps around his body. A smoke screen appears and explodes out of Izuku's body quickly to hide Mineta and Asui. Izuku puts his hand back and punches Shigaraki, but he forgot that he punched Shigaraki and he was still holding on to Shigaraki's right hand. Izuku unintentionally ripped off Shigaraki's entire arm of his body when he punched Shigaraki holding the Black Whip. But he only did that out of reflex to save Sue. And doing so, Shigaraki gets pinned up to the side of the wall and the USJ, barely alive, okay? I'm not gonna joke, Izuku's indestructible power plus 1/4, like indestructible body plus 1/4, you're just seriously not gonna tell me that anyone's gonna handle any attack he gives, you know? I'm telling you right now, I feel sorry for this Nomu. Like, I really do. But after Izuku saves Sue, Kurogiri's like, what the? Master Tomura, Shigaraki. Looks at me and sees Shigaraki barely breathing. He's like, Master. He appears by him. He goes, you're right. He goes, Kurogiri, get me out of here. Instantly collapses. Kurogiri teleports him and Shigaraki away. Back to the bar. Izuku tells them to get away. What goes down is Izuku looks at him and sees the Nomu. And as Izuku sees the Nomu, Shigaraki's last breath, he instantly goes back to the portal, puts his head out, he goes, Nomu, kill that brats with the green hair. And Kurogiri pulls him back. The Nomu instantly looks at Izuku, rushes at him, and Izuku's like, well, trial by fire, I guess. Stomps the ground, instantly goes 100% 1-4, rushes that Nomu, and they both clash fully. And as Izuku clashes the Nomu, the shockwave is huge, okay? The Nomu shockwave does not come through Izuku's arm. There's no recoil on Izuku's force because he's indestructible. Okay, his indestructible body doesn't allow these small ripples or shockwaves to go into his body. No, it instantly disperses back outside his hand. So his force he punched into the Nomu got re-exerted because the Nomu's force tried to reject it, but it blew back into himself, which blew the Nomu's arm off immediately. Bear in mind, this is indestructible Izuku, okay, like, come on. Nomu's arm's gone, he screeches in pain. Izuku instantly one-shots the Nomu right in the gut, sends him flying. As the Nomu gets hit into the wall, his arm heals right in front of Izuku, and he goes, a regeneration Quirk, how exciting. Izuku starts to stomp and goes, I can finally let loose. And he starts to stretch himself, he goes, last person I could do this to was All Might. But then again, I could have killed him too. Izuku clicks his neck. Aizawa's like, he goes, kid, what are you doing? He goes, Sue, Mineta, take Aizawa Sensei away. Aizawa Sensei, just let me have some fun, please. And what goes down, Izuku's walking forward. As he's walking forward, he looks at the Nomu's like, let's see how this fight goes between you and I. The Nomu's like, screeches and he rushes at Izuku, and Izuku stands there. He instantly charges 1-4. He puts a Black Whip on the ground, and he pretty much does a Spider-Man maneuver, which slingshots him through. He slingshots himself straight to Nomu at max speed using 100% 1-4. And Izuku goes, let's see what you do against this. Detroit! Smash! Izuku's hand blasts past the Nomu's hand and smacks him around the head. The shockwave alone sends a massive force cracking the USJ. Izuku punches the Nomu straight again, destroying the entire wall that he hits. But he's still created, and Izuku rushes out. I'm not done yet. He jumps up in the air and he goes, and he does one more powerful, he goes, plus ultra. As hard as he can, Detroit. The Nomu tries to get it to recover, but man, this Nomu unfortunately is not gonna take on indestructible 100% Izuku Midoriya. I'm sorry. Izuku punches the Nomu so hard that the force alone causes a massive rupture that destroys the entire side of the USJ where Izuku punched, smashing the Nomu right through the ground, like ripping right through until he hits the mountain, completely killing the Nomu entirely. And Izuku lands, he's like, puts his arm up, he's like, yeah, and he smiles, and then he turns around, his danger sense still going up a little bit, and Izuku's like, so that's what that quirk is. I can sense where people, where danger is, and Izuku looks over, and he looks over where all the people are fighting against villains. He sees Kaminari almost getting captured. Izuku immediately jumps over, and he instantly using his 100%, he jumps down, he smacks the villain straight into, he backhands the villain straight away from Kaminari. Kaminari's like, Midoriya. Izuku's like, it's alright, Kaminari, I got you. He goes, Jiro. She runs over and take him away. She does, and what happens as Izuku sees this big guy is about to jump on Momo, and this pisses off Izuku. Izuku immediately rushes over, catches him, and breaks the villain's arm, and makes the villain punch himself with his own hand. And then Izuku throws him straight away. And Momo was injured by the villain, and Izuku grabs her and picks her up bridal style and goes, "Are you alright, Momo?" And she blushes harder, you know. And this Izuku's confident as hell. Okay, guys, confident. He is. That's a key. And as this goes down, Bakugo and Todoroki appear, and Bakugo sees Izuku holding Momo bridal style, you know, and Todoroki just doesn't give a damn. Bakugo's like, and here's you giving me flack about Uraraka there, hey Deku. Izuku's like, shut up, jumps away, let's go. And they just listen, because yeah, well, Izuku's class rep and everyone's gonna listen. Izuku puts Momo down and goes, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "Yeah, I am." And he goes, "Good, I need to go now." Izuku rushes off and goes to start helping everyone else that's around. And as he does so, all Izuku hears is gunfire. All the villains he's jumping towards are getting shot by multiple angled bullets hitting them. And Izuku's like, "Where's this coming around?" And Izuku stops in midair and floats and looks around and he sees all the teachers waiting on the front door. And Izuku's like, "Yes!" He instantly turns around and he starts to beat up villains more and more, taking them down. So, and Izuku pretty much pulls a parallel to how All Might saves all those people from the burning buses. Izuku pretty much saves his friend and arrests all these villains from a burning building. He carries them and walks them away. And Izuku throws all these men right in front of them. What's called Principal Nezu says, "Thank you very much, Izuku Midoria. Now, you can rest now. The pro heroes are here to help. Thank you for doing your best, young man." Izuku bows to Nezu, and he goes, "All Might made the right choice for making you his successor. I am very proud of that." And Izuku's like, "Oh, you know Nezu, Principal?" And he goes, "Yes, of course I do know." And Izuku's like, "Oh, yeah, and by the way, sorry about destroying the USJ, yeah, this beam was super strong. He was meant to take out All Might 100%, but he couldn't take on me, so guarantee he would not be able to take on All Might." And Nezu kind of smiles at Izuku and he goes, "We'll have a look into that, young man, but you go sit by your friends." Izuku goes over, and as everyone's starting to leave, Momo tries to get up, but she's got a broken kind of ankle. And Izuku goes, "You need a hand, Momo?" And she goes, "Yes, please, Izuku." She blushes, and Izuku smiles, picks her up, and then goes, "Don't worry, I'll take you to recovery go myself." And as it goes down, everyone gets interviewed, and everything like that. Izuku jumps up and flies, Momo to recovery girl, because it's hard and fast, you know, and they need to wait. What goes down is, at first the teachers flag Izuku for doing so, but at the same time they praise Izuku for doing so, you know. And so after that, Izuku takes Momo to the recovery girl. She thanks Izuku and asks for his number, and Izuku gives it. He gives his number to her, and he disappears. He goes home for the next couple of days. They all talk, you know. And what goes down is this is when they all come back to school. They're all talking to each other. They're all happy, you know. The only person that's not really talking as much as besides Mineta is Todoroki, because he's still kind of angry at Bakugo, and he's still got this kind of complex. And Izuku's the popular kid, you know, and that kind of pisses him off too. So Aizawa comes and everyone gets told about the sports festival, and everything goes relative, you know. Izuku's the person that needs to go up stage, so he goes up stage and tells everyone that everyone's going to do their best, and I hope you guys all go plus ultra and show everyone your best, to be honest. And everyone's like, "Yeah!" Izuku goes, "I'm gonna destroy this competition so fast." And as Izuku is about to go down, what goes down is Principal Nezu goes, excuse me, young Izuku Midoriya, as much as I would love to see you win this the UA Sports Festival, unfortunately, due to your skill and your power set, we're going to have to pull you from the sports festival." Everyone's like, "What?" Bakugo goes, Hell no! Why the hell are you doing that?" Aizawa goes, "There's reasons for that, kid. Just shut up and listen to the principal." And Bakugo's like, "Damn, I wanted to beat you too." And Izuku looks at him and goes, "You really want to beat me?" Bakugo goes, "Well, you know I could have." And Izuku's like, he laughs at Bakugo and goes, "Nah, it's fine, he understands. His Quirk is too dangerous, of course." And Bakugo goes, "Yeah, that's pretty much true." Well, anyway, Deku, "I'll see you later." And Izuku goes, "Yeah." Izuku's really visibly upset, but he fist bumps Bakugo and he goes, "You better damn win this. No joke, Kachan." And Bakugo goes, Yeah, I will." And what happens is everything goes relative, you know. Bakugo destroys everyone right there. He beats Todoroki when it comes to the first race, because Bakugo is able to use explosions on his feet now as well. So he's able to do pseudo rocket launching from his feet and hands. And so Bakugo beats Todoroki. Todoroki comes second. And in the what's it called? The cavalry battle, because I hate that too, to be honest. I don't like the cavalry match. Bakugo pretty much keeps everyone away with explosions. His team is really versatile. Todoroki was the only one that kind of made a hard press situation against Izuku, Bakugo I mean, but nonetheless still what goes down the same. Now when it comes to the final 1v1, right? Some random person is going to put replace Izuku against Shinzo, and Shinzo's going to win the first match pretty much, and Todoroki's going to annihilate Shinzo when it comes to their match. So you get what I mean. But what goes down is the final. Well, the main final battle is Todoroki versus Bakugo, you know. And before this battle goes down, Todoroki challenges Bakugo. He goes, subjectively, I'm one of the strongest in the class. He goes, your Quirk's just explosion and destruction, nothing more, nothing special. But I need to become number 1 too. Just like how you plan to be, I plan to be too. And Bakugo goes, whatever, icy hot. Walks away. You talk too much. Talk in the ring. Bakugo walks away and Izuku's walking after them. This is when Endeavor comes by Bakugo and Izuku and he goes, you're Katsuki Bakugo, right? The one that's gonna challenge my son. Make him use his flames. He's going through a phase right now that he just needs the incentive to, and the moment he says that, Bakugo goes, why the hell should I listen to you, number 2? Bakugo walks away. This is my fight. I don't care about the fact that you're doting with your son. This is my fight. Stay the hell out of my way. Bakugo walks past and Izuku's like, Kachan! That's rude. Sorry, Endeavor, sir. Izuku walks away and Bakugo goes, don't worry. But Endeavor's like, brats. What goes down is, as everyone enters the arena, Izuku's watching and the battle between Bakugo and Todoroki begins, and before Todoroki begins, Bakugo goes, yo, Icy Heart, got a question. Why the hell don't you use your fire side? He goes, did my father put you up to this? He goes, your father tried to, but I'm doing this myself. I'm trying to emulate that stupid nerd. I know for a fact if he was here, it would have made you use your fire. So I ask you, why didn't you use your fire? And he goes, because I would be damned to use his Quirk. His Quirk? Oh, you mean your dad's Quirk? That's not your father's Quirk. How stupid. And he looks at his Midoriya Bakugo and goes, you really think like that, then what? You got your dad's hair, you got your dad's eyes. That's just stupid. You got a childish mind. But Todoroki's kind of pissed off. He goes, don't you want to be a hero and use your Quirk to the fullest extent? What the hell can your ice do? Can it warm people up? Todoroki's like look at him like, he goes, whatever, don't use your fire, it's all the same to me, I'm going to destroy you in the end. How can you become number 1 if you're just using your ice? Bakugo instantly gets in a position, lifts his feet up. As President Mike goes begin, Bakugo instantly launches that Todoroki using an explosion on his feet, and appears behind him, instantly redirects himself and does a massive tornado kick. Todoroki tries to do an ice, but Bakugo's foot and explosion go right through the attack, kicking him right in the head, sending him fly to the other side. Bakugo doesn't let up and he jumps in the air and does a massive explosion. Todoroki tries to catch it, but Bakugo annihilates all this ice, cutting Todoroki's face and burning some of his body. And why I say that is because the explosion itself is nitroglycerin, and why I say it's burning his body because the ice is cutting through and the burns coming from, well, the heat of the explosion. Even though Todoroki has ice and heat resistance, doesn't mean he can't get hurt by it, you know. And so what goes down is Todoroki looks at Bakugo and Bakugo goes, not taking this seriously now, Icy Hot? He goes, what kind of hero do you want to be? Like your father or like All Might? It's you who decides, not your father. Bakugo's like, Todoroki's like, having a flashback of his mum, and when he goes, you're right, this is not his Quirk! But big fire explodes on his body, and there was like, Showtime! And interferes, and Bakugo goes, great! Then I no need to hold back then. Give me everything you got, Icy Hot! And he instantly does his hot-cold exchange, the massive explosion. Bakugo's already behind it, and as Todoroki turns around, Bakugo's in front of him, he goes, max output, puts one hand right in front of him. Todoroki, in the last moment, able to react. All he sees is this bright light burning on Bakugo's head, and he goes, now die. Boom, an explosion goes off, and Todoroki is slammed right into the wall. Knocked out entirely, his upper body's clothes are gone, ripped out, exploded, he's injured. Bakugo falls to his knees. The great impact detonation. I need to work on that Quirk, that ability. Now, what happened is Bakugo stored up so much of the explosions into one singular point. When he detonated it, it blasted Todoroki back using so much energy. So, Bakugo wins, Todoroki comes second, and Tokiyami comes third. And enters into the hero license, the internship. Now, this is where the story is actually slightly going to change. Bakugo is still going to go with Best Genius, right? And as Izuku wants to protest, he gets sent to what's his name? And Gran Torino, and Izuku's like, damn, that old man's gonna beat me down. And he goes, oh, you're not technically going to Gran Torino's as a work student, my boy. And he goes, the reason why you were kept out is because of your unique skill and how good you can analyze things, and the fact that the Hero Commission knows that I've been training you for a while. And here, just take it, kid. And Izuku's like, what am I doing with my provisional hero license? He goes, it's your thank you for doing a good job and saving all the people while I wasn't there. Thank you, Midoria. And no, this is not a handout where we were given to you to make you good or sucking up. No, this is just my thank you and the Hero Commission's thank you. And all the parents would agree too. Izuku kind of cries and hugs All Might and goes, you earned it, kid. Now get going before the old man and Izuku and All Might get a chill in their back. They're like, Gran Torino, that's right. And so Izuku goes to Gran Torino, and all he does there is to learn how to pull out danger sense properly, have an activated smoke screen, learn its limits, learn the limits to how big his black whips are and how much they can be. Fajin, this is where he starts to learn Fajin, and stockpiling quirks, and float. Izuku gets pushed by all of these training by him until the point where they go to Hosu. Izuku is allowed to engage thanks to the fact that he has a provisional hero license. Okay. And so when they get there and the Nomu attacks, Izuku's danger sense happens, and he gets up and tells Gran Torino, and as it smashes through, Izuku instantly uses a black whip, wraps it, closes it, crushing the Nomu's body. Izuku jumps out with the Nomu, slams him into the ground. Let's go. What happens is Gran Torino goes, nice one, kid. He lands on Izuku's shoulder and goes, there's more work, let's go. And he jumps off Izuku's shoulder, and Izuku helps Gran Torino. And as they go around the city, Izuku and Gran Torino destroy what's it called? Nomu's left, right, and center. Izuku using his immense strength and power to do so, and he's destroying them all, one after another, to the point where, well, there's barely any, and Izuku starts to feel something weird. He's like, hey Manuel, where's Ida? And then it's like, he just ran off. The moment the fighting began, Izuku's like, damn, jumps away. Gran Torino goes, where are you going? To save my friend. What goes down is, when Izuku gets there, Stain has just finished stabbing Ida's shoulder, and is going to stab Ida in the back. As the blade enters Ida's back and is about to puncture, well, fully puncture, Izuku catches the sword and snaps it, and instantly stabs the broken part of the sword into Stain's shoulder that he's using the blade to cut Ida with. And Izuku, with 100%, instantly punches Stain right in the gut, but he doesn't make Stain fly. No, he punches him in the gut and compresses the attack into Stain. Stain immediately hits the ground, choking on his own and all his pain. He can't do nothing. Izuku instantly helps Ida up, and he goes, what are you doing here? Ida explains, oh, well, and Izuku gets pissed off, like, really angry Ida. And so what goes down is, after the whole Stain incident, the Nomu's invasion of, Hosu, they go back to school, and this is when they need to do their final test of the provisional license test. And of course Izuku's going to be by himself, and who is he fighting, of course? All Might. As Izuku stands there, All Might's like, ha ha, I am here. You be challenging me, young Midoria, but just note, I'll be wearing my weight, so you have the advantage. Izuku goes, I don't need the advantages, All Might Sensei, I don't. He goes, take them off now, just in case I kill you. All Might's like, oh, someone's feeling overconfident? Every teacher's looking at Izuku like, whoa, this guy. Izuku's like smiling, he jumps away, and Bakugo goes, you better not lose, Deku. He goes, I won't, Kachan, you'll see. And as Izuku walks into the city, he's like, where would All Might be? Looking at the roofs and everything. And so Izuku sees a silhouette of All Might on the other side and goes, Detroit Smash! Those are Izuku. And Izuku jumps on it and he goes, I'll give this a go. Thunderclap, Shockwave! Does a massive, claps his hand as hard as he can, 100% 1-4. And there's a big ass shockwave that can disperse All Might's Detroit Smash. Almost like, impressive, I didn't think you would be able to come up with this idea. And Izuku's like, you talk too much, All Might. He appears right next to the side of All Might and goes to throw a punch. All Might lifts his arm up, but Izuku's punch slams All Might right through the buildings. All Might's like, you hit like a tank, kid. I felt that. Izuku's already appears in front of All Might and goes, Detroit Smash real fast. And All Might manages to catch Izuku's punch and throw him down. And he goes, if I wasn't strong myself, kid, I would have got hit by attack and pretty much would have ended my career. And I'm glad you're not holding back, but just for the sake of this, we'll try our best not to kill each other. Izuku's like, fair enough, All Might. Just note that you can go all out there because I won't feel it. All Might's really annoyed. He goes, alright, kid, you want to play that game? Fine, let's brawl it out. You and me. Izuku's like, sweet, All Might. Bakugo's gritting his teeth. He's like, damn, Deku, you get the coolest fight, you bastard. And what goes down, everyone's like, whoa, Deku's keeping up All Might. They're just throwing blow for blow, punch for punch at each other's hand. All Might realizing the more he punches Izuku, the more in pain he gets, because Izuku doesn't get hurt from it. And as Izuku begins to press, Izuku instantly sees All Might falter briefly. All Might goes to punch him. Izuku catches his hand, pulls All Might's right arm down, and as he does so, he lets go and he pulls his right hand up, uppercutting All Might, punching him directly in the air. And before All Might leaves sight of view, Izuku puts out a black whip and wraps him and slams him onto the ground. All Might's like, oh, nice hit, Midoriya. But how are you going to win this if you have to let me go? I'll chase you down. Izuku's like, that's true. He jumps up and All Might realizes that he's covered in black whip. And he goes, ah, I see. Yeah, you win there, kid. Izuku's like, good. Puts All Might down. Everyone's like happy. Everyone's shocked, you know. And so it comes to the test of the Wild Wild Pussycats. Everything relevant goes the same from the get-go, okay? I'm not gonna lie, everyone gets on the bus, they fight the monsters, and they have to do their food and prep for the next day. That goes the same. However, this is where everyone starts their training. Aizawa goes, well, Gran Torino told me that you need to do this kind of training there, Midoriya, so do so. Izuku's like, oh, alright, Aizawa sensei. So, long story short, he pretty much does his own thing where everyone trains non-stop to push themselves. And Izuku just pushes himself to the point where, well, he can govern all his powers properly, you know. And so when it comes to that fateful night where 1A challenges 1B to a test of hero and courage and stuff, this is when Izuku rushes over to Koda to give him his food, and what happens is Muscular comes and attacks Izuku without hesitating. But when it does that, Izuku just jumps up and smashes Muscular's hand, breaking it entirely. Muscular can't believe it that some kid has a power this powerful, and as he tries to move, Izuku wraps him up with Black Whip, pulls Muscular down and kicks his head straight into the side of the mountain. And then Izuku slams Muscular down and he wraps him, breaking Muscular's both his arms. And Muscular screams in pain and Izuku goes, good, good. Now you know how it feels to be in this boy's position. Helpless, weak. And what happens is, what's it called? He looks at Izuku and he's just like, damn you! Izuku stomps on Muscular's head, causing an earthquake, mini earthquake in the area. And he goes, yeah, you're done. He grabs Koda, they both rush off to Aizawa. And Izuku begins to fly around doing his best to save everyone, but he misses out on Katsuki Bakugo. And this makes Izuku so mad, like, this triggers him so bad, that what goes down is, as Izuku's just right there, Izuku's just looking around like he's mad that he lost his friend, you know, his best friend. How can he do so? How can he let this happen? Izuku was just too caught up in doing anything else that he forgot about his best friend. All he saw was the last thing was, don't! Deku, don't! Where Darby pulls Bakugo into the portal. Izuku's so mad that he's in 100% one for it. His aura, his power is crackling by him. Aizawa stops the power, but he knows that Izuku's a walking monster right now. Like, there's no consoling it, you know? And so as all the students head back early, Izuku immediately, he abruptly rushes into Nezu's office and he goes, Principal Nezu, I'm so sorry, I would like to talk to you, please. Nezu goes, oh, of course, young Midoriya, come sit down. Izuku explains his frustration and how Bakugo is like his brother, and that he will destroy everything if he needs to get to him. Nezu goes, I understand. Well, since you got your hero provisional license, it's still valid at this present time until I deem otherwise. I believe you should be read into the mission on finding Katsuki Bakugo. Izuku's like, well, great, because we are actually going to follow Momo's tracker to one of the Nomus. And he goes, oh, we? Who's this we? Oh, me, Todoroki, Ida, Kirishima, and Momo. And he goes, oh, how out of character, but at the same time, an invaluable situation that will come across, no doubt. Well, I will stay for now. You get your friends to stay back for now, Midoriya, and allow us to do so. Once we get proper confirmation, you'll be on board right away, Midoriya, and have your friends ready to do cleanup and help other civilians, okay? Izuku's like, oh, yes, yes, what's it called, Principal Nezu. Izuku walks away, and this is when Nezu makes a call upon Izuku and how he's going to be a part of it. All Might agrees. A lot of other heroes don't agree, like Endeavor doesn't agree. Best Genius just asks why, and he goes, this is like his brother to him, so he's going to get him back. Now, back at the League of Villains, what goes down is, there's no Shigaraki. Why is there no Shigaraki? Because Izuku ripped off Shigaraki's arm where he bled out. And not only that, Izuku punched him so hard that he destroyed all of Shigaraki's ribs and his internal organs. His last order before actually dying was Kogiri, telling Nomu to kill Izuku. That was the last thing he said before dying back in the bar, which broke Krogiri. And so All For One's down a vessel, and he wants Izuku Midoriya. He's angry, but he also sees a potential vessel in Bakugo. Now, as All For One tries to acquiesce Bakugo to get him to join, this is when a knock on the door begins. And Bakugo gets up. He's like, what the? And they all look at him and say, ah, you came to Tango, kid. And as this goes down, the wall smashes down, and All Might goes, don't worry, because we are here. Izuku rushes straight in. He appears right by Bakugo and punches Darby straight in the face, sends him flying. Izuku grabs Bakugo, black whips him around him, wraps him and jumps out the building. I got him, All Might! All Might goes, great! He goes, Texas! Smash! Punches the area, sending all the villains within the building flying. And as All Might stands there, what goes down, and Nomus rush out of portals after portals after portals, and All Might gets pushed back. And these Nomus are a little bit weaker than the first Nomu that went across, and more powerful than the other Nomu combined. So this Nomu is a little bit weaker than the original, but not as weak, you know. And there's a couple of them that say All Might's been hard pressed, and so what goes down is Izuku immediately frees up. All Might kicks the what's it called? The things off him, and he goes, oh my, where's Kacha? And he goes, he teleported them, he disappeared. It breaks Izuku, and as Izuku's about to rush off, this is when he gets a call from Momo. Hey Deku, well, as you said to call you, I just see Bakugo, I just see Kacha now by the Nomu factory. She sends the location, and he goes, with a strange man with no head type of thing, and he goes, All For One. All Might! He calls out, All Might goes, yeah kid, I know where they are! So both All Might and Izuku rush to the area that they were given, where Momo saw them. And what goes down is Bakugo does a big explosion to try to let All Might know, but unfortunately he gets captured by the Nomu, and the Nomu breaks his arm. All For One goes, I wish you just played a much more simpler, kid. It's either you do this or I take your body, one of the two. Bakugo goes, the hell, I'll surrender to you. I'm not a villain, I'm a hero. And as he's trying to do so, what goes down is both All Might and Izuku smash right through the wall. Izuku lands by Bakugo, and he goes, Kachan, I'm here. All Might lands right in front of him and goes, All For One, how dare you take one of my students? Rushes at All For One, and All For One shoots an air cannon. All Might does a massive punch, and they both clash. All Might gets sent flying, and Izuku's holding Bakugo, but he jumps away with Bakugo. All For One's like, there's that kid, and he rushes after Izuku, and Izuku's able to spin around and throw Bakugo, and goes, just get away, Kachan, for now. All For One appears and tries to grab Izuku, but Izuku uses Black Whip to grab All For One, and he spins him and throws him away. All For One goes, I've seen that Quirk before. I remember clearly I killed the previous user. I see, so you do keep certain Quirk factors within you too. I see. Well, my little brother's power is doing really well. Izuku lands and he goes, All Might! And what happens, All Might gets up and Izuku's like, alright, here goes everything. One for all. 100%. 100%. All For One sees this and he just realizes that this kid does have All For One, one for all, and he has 100% use of it. And he's like, wait a minute. How could a kid? Izuku appears automatically right by him and throws his hand back. All For One tries to stop it, but Izuku instantly just changes his direction a tiny bit, and his hand lands on All For One's chest, and he goes, Detroit Smash! Punch All For One right in the air. Izuku jumps in the air following him. And as All Might sees this, he goes, that kid, he jumps up. Izuku's flying right at All For One. He's about to use Black Whip, but All For One shoots an air cannon, shooting Izuku down. But Izuku was able to flip and land on the ground. And doing so, All Might's already jumped past that, and All For One just noticed. All Might appeared behind him, and he goes, yeah, you remember my other student? Smashes All For One by the back of the head, slams him to the ground, and he's also my successor. Smashes All For One right into the ground, causing a massive earthquake. All Might spins around, kicks the air, and he goes down in all his power, and he goes, this is the end for you, All For One. He goes, United States. He's about to throw an attack, but All For One stands up with the gigantic cannon, and before All Might can do anything, the cannon blasts All Might right in the gut, hurting him badly, and slams him into the wall again, where All Might's like sitting there, blood comes out, his grit in his teeth, and he's starting to go into a skinny form slightly. And this is when the media starts to see this, and they see All Might in that position. Izuku sees this, it's like, All Might! He rushes at 100% speed, and then he gets there, like blinding lightning appears right in front of him. And as All For One was about to punch him with a massive Quirk arm, Izuku puts his hand up and smashes it, and he throws All Might out of the way. and Izuku's holding his left arm being pushed back, and All For One's like, he goes, "You got strength, kid, but sooner or later your body's gonna break." And Izuku's getting pushed back, and he stomps on the ground. And he goes, "That's a joke, right? That's an absolute joke, even from you, the #1 villain." And All For One's like, "What?" And he goes, "My main quirk is I'm indestructible." Izuku pushes back on All For One. "One of my unique quirks is resistance. A part of the indestructibility, so anything that pushes against me, I generate a natural force to resist it, meaning my indestructibility comes in too." And as he's like, "What the?" Izuku instantly grabs the hand, and he goes, "Unique thing about my quirk too is I can funnel 100% 1/4 through my entire body and not feel any strain." Izuku slams All For One down, and then he stomps and breaks All For One's gigantic morphed arm, and he tries to do the same, but Izuku stomps on his chest, and Izuku goes, "So you're the big baddie of this world." He does another stomp, and then another stomp, crashing him down into the ground. But All For One keeps getting up, and Izuku leans back. All For One tries to swipe at him again with a giant arm. Izuku puts 100%, focuses, and he narrows where he's going to punch it, and he instantly slams his indestructible fist with all his force, blowing All For One's arm completely off his body. All For One's like, "But my power." Izuku appears right by All For One, grabs his head, jumps in the air, and immediately slams him to the ground. All Might goes, "Midoria!" And Izuku turns around and he goes, "Ready!" And Izuku goes, "Right." And so he jumps and grabs All For One. He begins to do a massive, he spins him around, much like how Goku spins around villains and people he fights. He grabs All For One's head, throws him forward, grabs his feet, and begins to spin him around. And Izuku spins him around max speed, jumps in the air like a bloody turning top, and instantly throws All For One to All Might. All For One's like, "What the?" His arms are growing back and healing because Izuku broke both his arms. And as All For One's almost about to reach All Might uses the last of his energy, and he goes, "This is it for you, All For One. Farewell. United States of Smash!" Punches his face, hits the ground, causing a massive shockwave. Izuku floats in midair, and he gets caught up in the shockwave when he spins, but he pushes out easily. And as All For One is down on the ground, All Might's tired, and he stands up. Everyone's like, "All Might!" But then no one sees that All For One still was able to move. He lifts his arm up to try and impale All Might and kill him, but Izuku slams right on top of All For One, smashes him right on his chest, doing a big ass crater blast All Might away. And so after Izuku saves All Might, everyone sees this. All For One's like, "Ugh." He goes, "I will win in the boom." Izuku punches All For One right in the face as hard as he can, and he goes, "You lose." Izuku stands up. He pulls off the same exact pose All Might does in canon, but without no fatigue, nothing. Everyone's like, "Whoa, who's this kid?" Everyone's celebrating. Bakugo and them are like, "Wow, Deku did it." Like, they're buzzing out. Bakugo's smiling like, "Damn that bastard. He's gonna be #1 and I have to catch up to him." Everyone's shocked, All Might comes by Izuku. He's regaining his form back, pushing himself beyond his limit. And he comes by Izuku, placing a hand on Izuku's arm that's already stretched, and picks him up and holds him up in the air. And everyone's like, "Yeah, All Might, All Might!" And they all find out that Izuku's name is Deku, and so they're like, "All Might, Deku!" Everyone in Japan, they're like, "Whoa!" Their hearts are pounding. Even though they saw All Might in a weakened state, this villain was nothing to be messed with. And as he gets put away in jail, All Might's like, finally, he gets to debuff himself away from the media. Everyone didn't see a fully deflated All Might, but they saw like a weakened version to him for a brief moment until Izuku came. But they just saw, All Might just probably used all his energy at the time. And everyone speculated how Izuku was so strong, but then they realized, hey, isn't that the kid that got exempted from the sports festival? And they're like, yeah, that's the reason why he's that strong? You're kidding me, right? What? And so what goes down is, as the world pretty much sees their next #1 hero, All Might at that very much time he hands in his retirement, and he calls Endeavor, and he happily promotes Endeavor as the next #1 hero. And so when everyone goes back to school, everyone's just like, whoa, like what the hell happened? Like really, what the hell happened? But Aizawa goes, enough of that, kids. I got 3 people here who want to meet you, so here. And it's the big 3, of course, Tamaki, what's it called, Nejire, and Mirio, Togota. And so what goes down is, everything's going to go relevant, even to the point where Mirio challenges them. But Mirio realizes when it comes to Izuku Midoriya, doesn't know if he can beat him, regardless of his permeation. And so what happens is he begins to whoop everyone in class, whoop them massively. And it kind of makes Izuku smiles until the point when it's just Izuku and Bakugo left. Bakugo's the man, he can fight, even though Mirio tries to go for his eyes, he's just too good of a fighter, and he's actually able to put up a great fight. To be honest, he actually fights Mirio to a standstill, despite his permeation. Bakugo is a master fighter, okay? And he jumps away, and Izuku goes, well, Kachan, you do really well. Mirio rushes at Izuku, because Izuku lets his guard down and looks at Bakugo. But what happens is, as Mirio goes to throw a punch, and it was a solid punch, Izuku catches the hand. Mirio's like, how did you? And Izuku goes, oh, were you attacking? And Izuku throws Mirio, and he flips over, and he rushes at Izuku on the ground, and comes back up to try to punch Izuku. And Izuku doesn't move, he just allows Mirio to punch him. And he goes, oh, confident in your power? Then to see you do this. Throws a punch at Izuku, and he hits Izuku, and he actually bleeds his hand. Mirio's like, ah, damn. Izuku appears, grabs Mirio before he becomes, well, phase 3, and Izuku throws him at max speed before Mirio can think. And Mirio hits the wall, and he's like, oh, and falls, hits the ground. He's like, ah, alright, yeah, I'm done. Aizawa goes, idiot. And Izuku's like, sensei, and he goes, that. He goes, the aim of this training test was to show you that what kind of quirks can benefit you and what can not, you know. And for instance, his quirk was dangerous to the point where he could have killed himself at any time. Much like Mineta, his quirk is dangerous for himself because it's not really good at offense or defense. But if used right, it's perfect for offensive defense. And Izuku's like, oh, I get you. Oh, and I'm sorry, Mirio. And he goes, it's alright. And he goes, well, you gotta admit the top 3, Midoria, my problem child. And Izuku's like, sorry about that. And he goes, well, time for you guys to do your internships again. And Izuku goes, oh, where should I go? Mirio comes up to Izuku and goes, you should come to Sir Night-Eye's office, you know? Well, it'll be perfect. You got your provisional license still, so Night-Eye will allow you to do patrols with me. And Izuku's like, oh yeah, that's right, I can. And so what goes down is he goes with Night-Eye, you know? They go with Night-Eye and they begin their situation. They begin with what's it called? The internship. And the reason why I'm going to say that because Izuku's going to skip some of the situations that some of the tests that he's going to go through. The reason being is because, well, he doesn't need to sit for his provisional hero license like the rest of his friends will need to. And so I'm going to gloss all past that because Izuku's already got it, okay? And I'm just going to let you know that Bakugo, Katsuki, and Todoroki, they get their hero provisional license right away too because they get over themselves. I'm just going to lay that out right now if I didn't, okay? But back to Izuku. As Izuku meets Night-Eye, Night-Eye sees Izuku Midoriya and walks over to him and he goes, He places his hand on Izuku and makes contact and looks right at Izuku with his purple eye. And he looks at the future and he goes, I see. He stands up. Well, All Might did make the right choice with having you as his successor. I was actually going to taunt you and get you to try to grab this from me. But every future I saw, you destroy my entire office. And I lose every time. So, give me your paper, kid. Izuku gives him the paper and he signs it off and goes, you got your hero provisional license? And he goes, yeah, I'm here to give you a new one. Izuku's like, what? And he goes, until you finish school, you can use this provisional license on the regards that you do hero work in a certain aspect. And Izuku's like, alright, like he's so happy, you know? And what goes down, he goes, now it's time for you. He reads Izuku in on the Shihai Saikai, meaning Chisaki and all of them. And after explaining that, Izuku's like, fair enough. And so he joins Lemillion on patrol all the time. What's called, Izuku's name is the indestructible hero known as Deku. Because I have a theme with Deku and you'll see soon. As Deku walking with Lemillion, they do their rounds for the next couple of days. Until day 3 when Izuku's there. And what goes down, he's walking and a little girl bumps into him. Izuku's like, oh, are you right, my dear? I'm so sorry. Izuku thinks to himself, how come danger seems to warn me about you? He picks her up and he touches her. He goes, are you okay? He feels her body. He feels that she's trembling. She's scared. And he grabs her. He goes, what's your name? And what happens is Izuku's danger sense go off. And he goes, Eri. Don't interrupt these young heroes. Come back here now. Izuku stands up and goes, who are you? And he sees Chisaki straight away. And Chisaki sees Izuku Midoriya straight away. And he goes, why did it have to be you? He goes, Eri, get in now. He takes his glove off and slams onto the ground. Izuku goes, what the? He turns himself, and as the spikes hit Izuku's body, they break on Izuku's body, doing nothing. Lemillion jumps to the ground, jumps through and punches Chisaki straight in the face. And this is when a quick battle, a quick scuffle happens, but Jisaki manages to get away. He realizes that this is the kid that took down Awful One. You know, like, he's got his prized position. He can't do nothing right now. Like, really, his overhaul ability didn't even work on him. He used the ground, but Izuku's body just tanked the entire attack. When Jisaki went running, Eri saw this and she goes, "Why is he running from you?" Izuku smiles because he thought he can hurt you, pretty little girl. He taps her head. He goes, "What's your name?" And she's like, and she cries, like she really full on cries on Izuku, and he hugs her, and he's like, he's shocked, you know, and he takes her. Midoria goes, "We need to go see Nada now." And Izuku's like, "Yeah, we need to." And they disappear, and they appear in Nada's office, and Nada goes, "Who's this young lady with you?" And he goes, "This is the girl that was with Jisaki. Anyway, he attacked us in broad daylight because he recognized me." And he goes, "Well, there it is. There's the warrant. We don't need to wait no more. They openly attacked the hero in plain sight, and civilians even, using their quirk illegally. Thank you, Midoria." Well, now, what about this young girl? And Izuku touches her head and goes, "I don't know. But I know she was important to him in a negative way. I don't think this is his daughter." And he goes, "Alright, well, we'll get someone to watch her for now." And so they do that. Izuku goes, "I'll bring her back to UA for now, just to help." And they go, "Yes, do so. We'll get you to come tomorrow." And if you guys can hear, my neighbors are really loud. Yeah, I can't help them. They're like me, Moldy, so we're loud as hell. But yeah. Anyway, Izuku goes, takes Eri to this, to UA, and he explains everything. Which Nezu's sweet with, you know. And they do their own quirk analysis on her just to try to figure out her quirk. And so they eventually do figure out the quirk. And so after they kind of slightly understand the quirk has something to do with the horn, they keep her there just in a good way, just to make sure she's fine. And Izuku just tells her that, "I won't be too long, okay? I'm just gonna help bring that bad man down that hurt you, okay?" And Izuku smiles and just goes, "Really? But won't he hurt you?" Izuku smiles and goes, Don't worry, he won't hurt me. My quirk is I'm unbreakable, and I won't break my promise to you, okay?" And she goes, "Alright. What's your name, by the way?" "My name is Izuku Midoria, or the indestructible hero known as Deku. But you can call me anything you want, young Eri. I'll see you later, okay?" Izuku leaves the room and closes the door. Now, what he realized is Eri scarred up through her entire body. And Izuku is so mad right now. So much power is coming from him. Black Whip just emerges out of his body. Steam comes around his body. Izuku is furious. All the vestiges within Izuku are telling him to calm down. But they're like, wow. Izuku starts to walk, and when he goes into the meeting, they all feel this intensity from Izuku, this radiated power. And as Izuku just stands there, they just tell the situation. Izuku goes, "I'm going to take overhaul." And they look at him, and Izuku goes, "I'm the only hero that can't be affected by his quirk. Can you guys say the same thing?" Izuku crushes his hands. Endeavor, no one said nothing upon that, you know. Riku goes, "Oh, well, very well then, if that's the case." And she explains everything. Ochako and all of them like that go the same way. They all do the same thing. Even Frappy does the same thing. But what goes down is Izuku is the first one through the, he is about to be the first one through the door. What goes down is the massive man that smashes the door in. Izuku jumps right at him and punches him straight in the face, smashing him back into the door, breaking half the building. When they all see this, they're like, "Whoa, he's not holding back." Izuku rushes through the building using Black Whip, smashing everyone that gets in his way. He's not stopping, he's smashing right through the building. Anything that gets in his way, he punches. The guy that tries to warp the rooms, Izuku just uses danger sense to anticipate everything, all the movements backwards and forth, until he gets to a certain position. He looks up and he sees the man. He jumps right at him, but then he tries to move, but Izuku puts his hand right through all the concrete, grabbing him and chokes him out, makes him go to sleep. Izuku jumps up the wall and slams him into the ground. Everyone sees this, the whole room turns back to normal. And they're like, "Oh wow, that's incredible." Izuku's not hesitating there. He rushes right through. This is when he sees Chronostasis and Overhaul. And as Izuku runs in, he's like, "Overhaul!" Rushes in, jumps right through the wall. Overhaul immediately, tells Chronostasis to shoot him. And as he's trying to shoot Izuku with the quick cancelling bullets, they just bounce off his body like they were nothing. And they're like, "What the?" This kid, Izuku is about to smash him. But what goes down is Overhaul uses his quirk to send spikes at Izuku by the whole room, and he absorbs Chronostasis in his body. And what goes down as Izuku smashes through, Overhaul rushes in with a giant hand to grab Izuku, but Izuku headbutts Overhaul and punches him away. using one for all. Izuku rushes at him and it jumps up in their main area. Overhaul's trying to find Izuku through the doorway, but Izuku's already in the air above him. He throws a massive Detroit smash of air pressure at him, and Overhaul's like, ugh. And doing so, what goes down is that one punch actually destroyed the majority of the area, blowing a big ass hole in the roof. And Izuku lands, he speed blitzes Overhaul and he kicks him, beats him, and he grabs his foot and slams him down. Izuku just has a menacing air, he runs him across the wall, slamming Overhaul's head into the wall. And Izuku jumps up in the air straight out of the hole he made. And Izuku throws Overhaul towards everyone. And as Overhaul hits the ground, he's badly damaged, but he gets up anyway with the forearms. And he instantly hits the ground, trying to do the Overhaul quick, but Izuku rushes at him, smashing right through all the spikes. And as Izuku goes to throw a punch, Overhaul goes, finally! He puts all four of his arms up and he catches both Izuku's arms with both the arms. And he goes, now die! He tries to use Overhaul on Izuku, and he's like, what the? Why aren't you dying? Izuku grabs his arms, the two extra arms, and rips them off his body. And he goes, Sopo! He rips them off, and he grabs his other arm, breaks his arms, the ones that he still has on him, pulls them off, and headbutts him. Because bear in mind, at the time, Jisaki had 4 pairs of arm. Izuku grabs him, throws him onto the ground, and kicks his head across the entire area. Everyone's like, whoa. Izuku jumps up, and instantly lands on top of Jisaki's back, breaking his back entirely. And Jisaki's like, ugh. Izuku grabs him, picks him up, and he's about to like rip him apart, but Ryukyu goes, Midoria, Deku, calm down. Izuku, like his green aura and everything, his black whip, everything's just around him, it's scaring everyone. They were like, this is what it would be like if we fought him, if he was a villain, like what the hell. Izuku holds him and he goes, he's shaking, he just wants to rip him apart, The anger of what he did to Ares is taking really deep root in Izuku's mind. And when Ryukyu calms Izuku down, he goes, sorry about that. He throws Jisaki down, stomps on Jisaki's chest, and breaks it, full on breaks Jisaki's hand, so he can't use his quirks right now. What's good, Ryukyu sees this and understands what Izuku kind of does. She's not happy with it. At the same time, she's not going to go against it because he single-handedly took down Overhaul, okay? Izuku walks away, and then he goes to help everyone clean up their mess. He gets down back into the area, and he sees Red Riot protecting Fat Gum. And Izuku appears right in front of him and punches the guy right in the face, slams him into the wall. And Fat Gum goes, thank you, Midoria. Thank you, Kirishima. Sorry, guys. And so, as Fat Gum punches, destroying the shield barrier, he gets sent flying. What goes down is the Shihozaikai guy gets up and is about to rush at them, but Izuku, he sees Izuku and he's like, you're the one that took down Awful One. He starts to tremble and shake. In excitement, he goes, you'll be able to give me the fight I always wanted. And as he goes to fight Izuku at first was going to just knock him out, but he started to watch him, and Izuku goes, you just do this to fight people? Talking to him, he goes, yeah, why is life like without fighting, you know? I ain't joined this crew to fight people, nothing more. And Izuku's ducking and dodging, and he goes, huh, boom, catches his hand, he goes, you're quite incredible, to be honest, and in fact, you're wasting your talents. And he's like, huh? And Izuku pushes him away and goes, you're not really a villain, are you? And he goes, well, technically, yeah, I did bad, but Izuku goes, no, I sense it in you. Naturally, my danger sense will allow me to know, and your friend is evil, but I don't know. Fat Gum's like, Deku? What are you? And even Kirishima's like shocked. He goes, just trust me. I just believe so. He goes, I know you'll be in trouble, but you should apply for UA. You'll be a really good teacher. He looks at Izuku and he goes, and if you do and you get clean, I'll give you that fight you always wanted. And he looks at Izuku and he goes, you're not lying, are you? I will do that, but you're not lying, right? You will fight me properly? And Izuku smiles. I'll give you the best fight of your life. And he's like, oh good, I will definitely change for this. And Izuku is great. I will put in a recommendation, you know? And hopefully they hear me out. I believe, yeah. And what happens is all the other villains get wrapped up thanks to, well, the ones that actually did majority of the work was Izuku and Mirio, to be honest. And what goes down is Izuku does put a word in for that guy, the Shihozaikai guy that fought Red Riot and Fat Gum, and yeah, he serves his probation at UA as a sports teacher, a fighting teacher, you know? This works for him, you know? It really does. And so what goes down is Jisaki's gone, his arms are dead, he can't do nothing now, you know, he's pretty much paralyzed. And what goes down is Izuku, before Izuku goes, he goes, by the way, what's Iru's quirk? We figured that her quirk radiates through her horn, but what's her quirk in general? And he goes, she's a curse. Izuku punches it like was about to slam him and he goes, you better choose your words right and wisely. And he goes, She can rewind time. Our people. That's why. And Izuku goes, I see. Thank you. Izuku walks away from him. And if she uses her quirk on you, you'll die. And Izuku goes, I don't think your quirk will work on me. If your quirk didn't work on me, if Shigaraki's quirk didn't work on me, what makes you think your quirk, her quirk don't work on me? Izuku walks away and Shigisaki's just blacks out. They all thank Izuku and they praise him. He gets put on public news stating that this young boy, Izuku Midoriya, and another young man, Lemillion, or Miria Togata, pretty much single-handedly took down the Shiozaikai. Like, they take majority of the credit. Night Eye's agency are the one that takes the full credit, but they are doing it via Night Eye's agency. Night Eye thanks Izuku Midoriya and tells him he's the greatest investment almost actually practically done. Izuku smiles and he goes, well, I regret that I took the quirk from Mirio. Mirio goes, it's fine. I don't have an indestructible body like you and you're perfect for it. Izuku kind of smiles and goes, yeah, thank you for that. And what goes down is Izuku practically gets his hero license. He gets his hero license, okay? And he works on bigger and harder missions. But the situation though was this is where he sees less and less of his friends, only due to the fact that he becomes a pro hero at a young age. And that's the sad thing from Izuku. But what goes down is Izuku still asks, can he go back to 4th to UA because he would like to at least feel normal. They agree that no, you're good, Midoriya, you can go. Izuku's sweet with that, and so as they go back to the school, Izuku sees Eri and he's happy. She's so happy to see Izuku, and from there they work on making the festival, you know, the UA celebrational festival where they all do their sing and dance. At this time, this is where we're all hanging out, and this is where Izuku sees Bakugo and Uraraka talking. Izuku leans over and goes, so when you gonna ask her out? And Bakugo blushes and goes, he turns to Izuku and goes, I already have. Izuku goes, hot damn, yeah, Kachan! Bakugo goes, shut up! Uraraka understands what Izuku was saying, and she kind of blushes, and he goes, I'm taking around the festival today. He goes, good. Well, what I need to do is go and get some rope, and I won't be long, okay? He goes, why don't you ask Momo to make you some? Deku. Izuku looks at Bakugo and he goes, oh, you had to play that game, didn't you? And he goes, and he goes, well, I don't want to push her too far. Momo goes, what do you need, Midoriya? And Izuku looks at her and he kind of blushes, and she sees that and she kind of blushes too. And Bakugo goes, oh, what he needs is he wants to ask you on after the festival's done. He just couldn't be man enough to ask you, that's all. He's interested in you. But Izuku looks at Bakugo, and Bakugo goes, yeah, give me that, walks away. Ha ha, oh, at the last laugh, nerd. Izuku's like, damn you, Kachan! And he's like, oh, well, yeah, there's that. I was going to ask you that. And Momo goes, well, I'd love to go with you, Midoriya. And Izuku smiles and looks at her. And he's happy, you know. He goes, but what else did you want? And Izuku goes, well, I wasn't nah, never mind, don't worry. But I'll see you later, okay? And she goes, alright, Midoriya. And goes, so it's a date? And she's like, she blushes immediately. And she goes, yeah. Mina and all of them are like, oh my god. There's 2 ships in our class. Bakugo and Ochako. And Deku and Momo, what the hell? It was a shock. And so it goes down. Izuku rushes off, then buys the rope. And this is where he sees Gentle Criminal. When Gentle sees Izuku and Izuku sees Gentle, and La Brava sees him, it's a different story. He doesn't rush to UA. He's about to, but Izuku goes, you guys better not be going towards my school. Green energy emits from Izuku's body. And what happens is Gentle goes, we've been caught, La Brava. Izuku looks at him, he goes, I know who you are. You're a gentle criminal. You're not really a bad guy. You just do stupid things. And looks at, and La Brava was about to interfere, but he goes, yeah, I know. I just wanted to do this for, you know, just to get myself out there. And Izuku goes, what's your quirk? And he shows Izuku and he goes, whoa, that's your quirk? And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, your quirk's amazing. You can make things elastic. You can jump on mid, like, what the hell? You can block anyone's attack, and what's your quirk? She explains it, he goes, oh my gosh, you guys are just heroes in the making, like, what the hell? And you're a hacker too? And Izuku goes, man, you'd be perfect at UA. And he looks at Izuku and goes, what? And Izuku goes, please, I want to make a young girl smile because she's never smiled in her life. I don't want you guys to ruin this, but if you want, here's my number, we can talk, you know? And he just, Gentle just looks at Midoriya like, yeah, okay. Like, he changes his schemes right away. Izuku's like, cool, I'm so grateful you made this easy for me, because I didn't want to have to hurt you. Izuku goes, well, see you when you call me, I guess. Izuku jumps away, right back to UA. He makes it there, and everyone goes, oh, you're here. And from there, they have the what's it called? The festival where Jiro sings. And she's cool as. That's probably one of my favorite parts in UA is that song, like Hero too. I am a hero too. Yeah, I like that song. And so what goes down, Izuku and them pull it off completely. Eri smiles, she has the best time of her life. Midoria still has his quirk, you know. Night Eye's still alive, but everyone's still happy. And everyone just like buzzes out when they see the hero Deku there. And so what goes down is a lot changes for me. Everyone else begins to continue with their schooling. And a situation like that, the League of Villains completely annihilated, you know. Completely but utterly destroyed. It's Dr. Izuku that goes with his high-end Nomus to subvert the Liberation Army. But they didn't realize that Izuku was tasked with bringing the entire Liberation Army down, along with Endeavor, Hawks, and Best Jeanist. And so what happens is they all appear on the battlefield where they goes. Bear in mind, Kogiri's still there. He's still their main warp guy. So when all the Nomus arrive where all the, what's it called? Well, where the Meta Liberation Army, what's his name? Gigantomachia also appears too, and he rushes down too, destroying the whole entire city. So the battle's chaotic. Endeavor, Best Jeanist, and Hawks watch around, and Izuku's like, where is... he goes, who should I take on first? Endeavor goes, take on that gigantic monster first. And Izuku's like, sweet. Let me know when you guys find Redistro. Hawks like, sweet as Deku. Izuku instantly goes 100%, and he rockets right at Gigantomachia. Gigantomachia is running through the city until he instantly sees something coming at him like a blur of speed, and Izuku goes head first right into Makia's head, smacking him, knocking Makia down, and Izuku flies up in the mid-air and kicks the air and punches Makia straight into the ground. Makia tries to get up, but Izuku wraps him a black whip and slams him down, and Makia's like, what the? Izuku jumps in the air and he goes and lands on Makia's chest with a 100% Detroit smash, smashing Makia down. Doesn't knock him out, but he pushes him down. Izuku walks over and Makia's like, ugh. He tries to crush Izuku, but Izuku instantly breaks out. Best Jeanist wraps Makia up and he goes, I got the Midoria. We found Redistro. Endeavor's engaging him right now. And Izuku's like, he goes, would you be fine, Best Jeanist, sir? And he goes, yeah, I'll be fine. Mirako and them are coming now. And Izuku's like, awesome. Izuku rushes out and he goes towards Endeavor. This is when, what's it called? Endeavor and Hawks. But this is when the guy with the ice comes in, you know? And he shoots at Izuku, but Izuku just grabs and smashes right through him, grabs him and goes, I've dealt with some of the ice before and you're nothing. Izuku rushes to max speed and slams him onto the ground, and this is when a Nobu comes, a high-end Nobu, the same one, the hood one that attacks Endeavor in canon, and he rushes at Izuku, and Izuku sees this, and he's ducking and dodging all those attacks, jumping around, and Izuku's like, wow, you're a pretty interesting Nobu, instantly black whips him around immediately, ties all his extremities, and high-end's like, what the, how did you, and Izuku closes his hand, crushing his body, and Izuku instantly rips him apart and grabs the Nomu's head and crushes it and he goes, your weak point's here. Quite stupid to advertise it. Instantly Izuku sees like 6 other Nomus. They're pretty much like the ones in the USJ. Izuku does black whip 100%, smashing it like spikes right through their heads, killing them all. And he rips all the heads off their bodies. All the Nomus land and Endeavor goes, nicely done, kid, but I need your help. Boom, he gets hit by a massive hand by Redistro. Redistro is at 80% liberation or 80% stress. Izuku rushes over, catches Endeavor, and puts him down, and Izuku rushes into, what's it called? Redistro. Redistro puts his arm back and goes to try to smash him, but Izuku punches the arm 100%, blowing Redistro's arm completely back. Izuku jumps at Redistro, he instantly goes to try to go 100%, even tries to do his massive attack, but Izuku punches Redistro straight into the air, and Redistro, as he's in the air, he calls his support gear to push him to 100%. Plus ultra, well, whatever he goes, his max, he lands right in front of them, you know, and he's like, you're strong, kid, I'll give you that, but I'm fighting for no cause, what are you doing? Izuku immediately catches the Redistro's hand, and he crushes it immediately. He's kind of annoyed Izuku, and he goes, you're fighting for a cause. Izuku instantly rips the robot bomb, the mechanical parts off him, and smashes Redistro down, and stomps his foot right through the robot's body, the armament, until it hits his body. And Izuku goes, gets him, rips him off, and pulls him out of it. Redistro tries to, but Izuku headbutts him super hard, knocking him out entirely and throws him down. Redistro is knocked out. Everyone in the Middle Liberation Army sees this, And when they see that Izuku Midoriya is there, they are about to attack until they see all the other pro heroes appear all around them, you know. Hawks has his feathers around. Bestriness is already subdued Makia, and he's already there rushing around. Bakugo and them become too Todoroki anymore because they have got the leeway to do so, and they begin to wreck house. Todoroki does a massive ice sphere around the entire area, and Bakugo just lets loose with his AP cannon, machine gun version, blasting them out, beating everyone, you know. And so after the Meta Liberation Army is taken care of immediately, Izuku, all the 4 main heroes that get done, they pretty much get the praise, you know. Endeavor smiles, and Izuku is the youngest ever pro hero to exist. He made top ranks immediately. Unfortunately, he takes 4th place at this present time. And I'm not going to be mean to Mirko, but Izuku's mere presence on a battlefield alone is enough for villains to give up. This is the unique thing about Izuku. And as Izuku lands here, he finds Dr. Ujuko badly injured down on the ground, you know, from the massive battle. And Izuku says, "You're the main person that instigated all this." He wraps him up and takes him into court, and he gets charged and arrested for life. Redestroying all the Meta, he gives up the entire Meta Liberation Force because he's scared of Izuku Midoriya, to be honest. Krogiri gets captured, and they find out they Shirakumo, Obara Shirakumo, and from there they do their best to try to get him out. And so that whole arc is pretty much goes down, and everyone pretty much lives the best of their lives. Izuku gets with Momo after their first date, and they become a full couple. Bakugo and Ochako become a full couple. And so what goes down is after Izuku is announced as a new pro hero, we're going to skip 10 years into the future, okay? Young Izuku has two children to Momo, right? And not only that, Bakugo has a child to Ochako Uraraka, and everyone has children. But what goes down is Izuku's hanging out at UA with all his friends. They're all hanging out with their kids. Izuku is the #1 hero. #1 hero. He changed the entire face of heroism in Japan entirely. Villains are scared to be villains. They really are. All Might got to retire perfectly. Izuku's the perfect symbol of peace, the unbreakable symbol of peace. Everyone knows that. And they're like, All Might was something, but Midoriya is something else. He's a kid with lots of quirks, and he's stronger than All Might. Everyone's like, we surrender. We surrender. And so that's what goes down. Like, villains practically slowly but surely begin to die out thanks to Izuku Midoriya. And Deku's like smiles, you know, he has a family, has Momo and all that. And as they're heading on, heading off to the main UA festival to watch the kids, what goes down, a portal opens. A crack in the realm opens. And Izuku's like, what the? And everyone sees this, they all get on guard until Izuku sees another Izuku come out of the barrier. And Izuku lands and goes, wow, that's an interesting end of your story, I guess. And he's like, Deku's like, who are you? And he goes, oh, do you know how you're the indestructible hero known as Deku, or the 1-for-all hero known as Deku, right? And he goes, yeah. Well, I'm the multiversal awful one. Nah, I'm the one above all, Deku. And he's like, one above all. And Izuku, the one above all, Deku's like, man, why did I confuse myself? But then he realizes that he continuously jumps through multiple dimensions at the same time, so he confuses himself a lot. And Deku's like, huh? He goes, my quirk is one above all, okay? And he's like, whoa. And Izuku smiles and goes, nah, really, my quirk is actually super copy quirk, but I've all my quirks combined, I've got thousands upon thousands, millions of quirks, you know? That the 3 strongest quirks I have are powerful quirks in general. And he goes, I see. And he goes, so what are you exactly? And one above all states, well, I'm immortal. I'm gonna live forever. And so me and my wife Ochako, and this buzzes out Bakugo and Ochako, and she goes, I'm not married to him. And he smiles, and the one above all, Deku's wife Gravity Ochako comes through, and she smiles, hello. And Bakugo blushes, Ochako blushes, and what happens is they were shocked, you know. And Momo goes, you get with Ochako, and he goes, different universe, different time periods, you'll understand. He goes, there was a universe where I got with a woman named Lady Nagon. She's a hero killer. They're one of the original ones, you know. But he freed her, and he got with her, you see. They're shocked. They're like, what? And so you must understand, we're all the same Dekus. That's why it's quite unique that every single Deku I've met so far now pronounces their name as Deku as Kachan's nickname. Bucko goes, we are fate. Well, it's a good name. And Izuku goes, well, you're not wrong. And it's easy for Dr. Kahu to explain. He goes, Dr. Kahu, and he goes, another story for another time, Kachan. But anyway, it's good to meet you, Indestructible Hero Deku. As I was saying, I'm the one above all Deku. And he shakes Izuku. They both shake each other's hand. And he goes, I didn't come over here to lord it over you. I come to tell you how much I was proud of you and how I seen how you concluded this world, this time period. I see a bright future for you and everything that goes down with you. Thank you for allowing me to come to this world. Well, I came here on my own regards. But yeah, Izuku begins to fly. He takes Ochako and he goes, Ochako goes, you guys are cute kids there, Bakugo and Ochako. And Bakugo smiles, and so does Ochako. And when she looks at Izuku's children with Momo, she goes, oh, they're so gorgeous too. And they disappear, of course, back into their own realm. Deku goes, well, see you later, Deku. And he goes, yeah, see ya. And so they go back. Izuku goes back to his multiverse, My Hero multiverse, and he looks over and goes, well, that was fun. And she goes, yeah, that was. Kind of gets boring though. And he goes, oh, why does it get boring for you? And she goes, well, he was indestructible, so by all accounts, the power that he had was at 100%. He just made it stronger and stronger. Izuku goes, well, that's true. And she goes, furthermore, if you looked at it, Izuku was practically immortal without the Quirk. He could have got strong as one for all, even if he didn't get it, right? And Izuku snaps his finger and goes, that's it, Ochako. My dear, that's exactly why I want to understand how he did the things he did. Even without one for all, it would have taken him like good 3-4 years, but he would have been stronger than All Might without one for all. And she goes, wow, that's incredible. And he goes, well, it's going to be interesting to see how him and his children go and how his future goes. But for now, I'm done with this universe. It's time to move on to another. And she goes, oh, what's the next one? And Izuku goes, well, remember how we saw the other universe where pretty much I inherited All for One, right? And she goes, yes. Well, I want to look at what if Deku was born with One for All? And she goes, how does that work? And he goes, that's the subject to the story. Let's find out right now. And he finds it and goes, there it is. Well, Chanku, are you ready? And she goes, yeah. Well, let the story begin. And as Izuku begins to watch that story, this is when I'm going to leave this one off, guys. I hope you guys liked this movie. It took a lot of time to put this together. I know I jibber jabber a lot, but I'm sorry about that. But thank you guys so much, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. But as usual, guys, this is Dr. Kahu saying peace.